Fiudae, nunc sunt pagani. Magna Scelera, Magna Scelera, Magis Potentia. Ei enim erant Fiudae, nunc sunt pagani. Oculi caesi solis viderunt, proclama et veni nobis. Ignorantia nos liberat. Ignorantia nos liberat. Ignorantia nos liberat. Ignorantia nos liberat. Republicae hostes sumus. Magna Scelera, Magis Potentia. Oculi caeci solis viderunt, proclama et veni nobis.
That's a good one. It's a new one from Xanacro Studios, part of the Templar Metal Volume 2. I still have a couple songs we haven't heard yet. And, man, I fucking love them. They are just the fucking perfect intro. They truly are just the best intro music for this show. Or really for this channel, because that's what I use them for anyway. Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to episode 24. I got that wrong when I put up the initial watch page. It's episode 25, whereas the tagline says episode 24. 25 is next week, along with not only the beginning of summer, and thus hopefully the beginning of the GTA 6 marketing section, but also Father's Day, which we will also be celebrating. Today we are celebrating in part America, in part, our president, and I'm just going to get this started right off the bat. I have the Ultra Red, White, and Blue Raz Monster. I'm not doing the thing right now. I don't really feel up to it. So, let's just crack this open, get this fucking night started. Oh, yum. Happy birthday, Trump. And of course, this year, next month, we will be celebrating America's 250th. Holy fucking shit. We've been on this wonderful country for 250 years. And it's had its ups and downs, and lots of ups and lots of downs. And there's still ups to think about if you're willing to look for it and not just be a pessimist, a black-pilled, hopeless zombie, which is what they want. Ultimately, they, in power, want us to be hopeless, nihilistic, black-pilled, because then we're easier to control, because then we don't care. Because if you don't care about something, you won't preserve it. Anyway, yes, we have a new bot, timer, command, whatever. So, if you want to hit the description or the bot, it's the new tithing. It's our new collection plate. Nightbot is not only letting you know to be welcome here, but it's also our collection plate because, let's see, what's been going on right now? Like many of you know, I just bought myself a new Xbox. I went with the Xbox Series X, which was great. I fucking love it. I finally get to play Red Dead Redemption 2, which I played on stream, which is my first time ever playing it just the other day. Just yesterday, actually. And I'm fucking loving it. I have a separate save station that I started today for my own personal. And I didn't get much farther than what I did on stream, but at least I'm not in the snow anymore. But that game is just absolutely amazing. Just the way it looks. Very Western, very... it's great. And I loved the first one. I played the first one. I'm a big Rockstar fan, obviously. So hopefully, speaking of Rockstar, the GTA cycle is kicking up. But speaking of games and donations, for those who want to chip in tonight, I'm going to be getting some new Jackbox games. There's some really cool Jackbox party packs that we need to get for Friday. We need Quiplash 3. We need Champed Up. We need what is it? Doom. It's in Jackbox Party Pack 11. It's called Doominator or something like that. What is it? What's it called? No. Shit. What is it called? It's not fucking telling me. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of like Survive the Internet. And then there's another drawing game where you make cookies. So it's kind of like TKO, but with icing. So there's that. So that'll be fun. So yeah, donations are very much appreciated. Let's see. And speaking of one, we are going to be talking a lot about a bunch of didn't do nothings, a lot of Snickers. So if you wish to see the 1865, or if you're really generous, you want to see the people who annoy you donation, feel free to hit that up, because we are going to be talking a lot about those kind of people. And also, hey, Daryl O is in chat. If you wish to take him out as stream boss, he is getting close, unless, Daryl, you haven't been here for a while, but you are still stream boss, and you are very much free to give yourself some healing. You're very much free to heal yourself. We got Blade, Daryl, Shuru, Gaito, Donka. Let's see, who else? Who did I miss? Did I miss anyone? No. Blaze lurking before work. That's cool. But yeah, if you wish to take out Daryl, feel free. If you, Daryl, wish to heal yourself, feel free. But that's what I've been getting up to. I've been enjoying the new game. I loved the first Red Dead Redemption, and going back as this is a prequel, seeing the characters, what they were like before, it's really cool. The fact that you've survived the short that you posted, that was that was fun. And that actually, that post or that short did pretty well. Like, I think it's got close to 170 views, something like that, which is pretty good for really anything. It's actually really good for a video of mine, but whatever. But yeah, I was able to make it past the bear in my second attempt, and I did much better on the hunting, which I wish my second attempt at hunting was better than my first. I may just redo that whole mission. Because that was fun. I'm loving that game, and I am so stoked for GTA 6. We're not going to really talk about the game that much today, because there's not really much to talk about. But yeah. So guys, please leave a like, share this out. And if you feel like throwing in anything towards, I'm just going to be honest, anything you throw towards is going to be paying for Jackbox games and GTA 6. And of course, getting me Monster, because I need Monster Energy for the show. This red, white, and blue Raz is good. I hear they have a Monster vanilla shot, kind of like the Monster strawberry shot they did a while back. but with the vanilla. So I think that'll be good. I haven't seen it in stores yet, so whatever. But yeah. How you guys been doing? How has your weekend treated you? Because other than just playing Red Dead Redemption and being on Steve Dave's show, obviously, speaking of Jackbox, Drunkle had his Jackbox stream, which was really fun. I always like joining in. And, he got some new ones. He played a new one, but it doesn't really work on a stream unless you're in voice chat, because a lot of those games you need to talk to people. I'll stick to coffee. They have Coffee Monster. In fact, if you want a really good one, try the Irish Cream. The Irish Monster is fucking great. And speaking of Coffee Monster, along with the vanilla shot, they have a new one called Dubai Chocolate. I have to try this. Another boring week. Gaito, how in the hell can you have a boring weekend when you are not only here on this, the best Saint podcast, the best Templar Saint Cathedral whatever podcast, and you and I were both on the best Anthro podcast last night. I mean, that's not a boring weekend. Actually, I don't know. Is it really a podcast if I don't have any guests or co-hosts? I don't know. I probably should get a co-host. I don't know. Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm not against having guests. Man, if I could one day get this show big enough to where I could, have a fucking...
Morning. Good day to you, sir.
What
Wait a minute, what the hell? Getting real tired of you ducking me, man.
I don't know why that's not synced up.
Yeah, getting really tired. Where's my money? Where's my money? Yeah, you got money to pay for fake mustaches, huh? Yeah. How much you pay for that fake mustache?
$2.99. Listen, you just gotta give me more time.
Don't make a fool out of me, man. Don't make a fool out of me. I want my money. I want my money, man.
Stewie, listen, this is crazy. You got... Oh, my God! All right, let's go to the bank.
Well, actually 4 things, honestly. 1, seriously, Daryl O, holy shit, with a $50 donation. He just paid off Stewie's debt. 2, I don't know why that was, I hope that wasn't out of sync for you, because to me, the audio popped up, then the video, so it didn't look right. But I hope you got your money's worth on that. 2 or 3, Daryl O just fucking healing himself, meaning that you need a fucking $70-something dono to take him out now. Holy shit, he told you guys that if you want him to fucking be out of here, it was out of sync. Oh, man. I don't know why that does that sometimes. That's Streamlabs' fucking fault, man. I would play it again, but it would just take your health down. I think it would fuck up your health. So, I don't want to fuck with your health bar right now, because I don't really like doing that. But anyway, I hope you guys got the gist of that. I don't know why it did that. But yeah, seriously, man, holy shit, thanks. And where is it? Blaze said husband Donkey would do that. You know what? Maybe over the course of this week, me and Donkey can talk about something. I mean, we can have him on. I can have him on. We have him on next Sunday as like a guest. That'd be kind of cool. Kind of like how Steve Dave does. I kind of tend to have like an open door here, but I don't really. I don't know. I It's just a lot of times it's easier just with me, but I don't know. I wouldn't need as much news, because we'd be like double barrel, You never know. It'd be cool. I mean, those episodes with Steve were great. Actually, you know what? Donkey, Steve, and me. That would be a really cool. Like, if Steve Dave was free one night, one Sunday, and it was me, him, and Donkey, I think that would be a great episode. Because the three of us would just fucking sit and shit on politics, and who knows for 3 hours. We probably wouldn't even get through anything. And, oh my god, I'd need to create games. Oh my god, I'd have to create... Nah, maybe not. That's cool. And you never know. But, I'm not worried about taking his spot. I'm trying to save up for a new motorcycle. Oh, yeah, I get that. Yeah, I think it would. I mean, me and Steve, Steve, essentially, Saturdays are me, Steve, Gaito, and Leo. Leo is technically the contractually obligated co-host, whereas me and Gaito just kind of are audience members, but we're there so much. Same with like Lysander and Firefighter and all that. Yeah, so Steve, I, and Leo, we do a really good Saturday nights. It's really fun. Especially when, Leo is actually hosting the game. Oh, okay. So, guys, that would just be the second iteration of the AAA. Hey, you know what? If this show becomes the new AAA, I mean, that's great, because Steve Dave has already said he wants his show to be the new Fright Power Hour. A much more comedy, loose, animation focused news show, which makes sense, because that's what Fright Power Hour, I'll just say, was, because it's not a thing at the moment, even though it may someday resurrect itself. I mean, this show, I'd love for this show to be a new AAA, or you know what? Not even AAA. I mean, first of all, I liked the original AAA with G, and no disrespect to Polly, I liked the second iteration. When he actually shows up, and which, by the way, he actually did a stream at fucking first one in 4 months. But honestly, I think the GPP was the best. Like, I know I joined in late on that, and I was mostly there for the Gulf City era, like when G. But man, the GPP was, what I was able to see was so much fun, man. Their what was it? Their PSA streams. Their prop hunt streams were fucking hilarious. Their one prop hunt stream, I have never laughed so hard. I almost thought I was going to pass out. I was laughing so fucking hard at it was Drunkle and Sin. They were disguised as like tables, I think, and they were running around, and Bear just could not fucking find them. They were so stupid. Oh my god, those were some great fucking times. GPP was so good, man. It really was. But yeah, I want Midnight Mass to do well and to become a thing. I want it to be like the AAA or Fright Power or FNT. FNT is another one I really like, and Open Bar is another one. Man, I would. My goal for this year was to get on Open Bar, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. That'd be really cool though. But yeah, let's actually get to the On This Day in History, because we do have a lot to talk about, and mostly it's going to be about, like I said, a bunch of didn't do nothings and Snickers. So if you wish to see the 1865 Snicker donation, or if you wish to do a huge dent in Daryl O and take him back down a peg, there is the what is it? It's the, I don't know the number. I don't know the numbers of my own donations. I just know what their names are. It's the people who annoy you. Oh, it's $69.73. Oh, I thought it was less than that. Okay, but yeah. So no, let's get into the on this day, because we actually have a bit of actual on this day today news, which I don't know if it will be posted in the actual thing, but let's take a look. On this day, oh wait, I didn't do the thing. Oh, you bitch! Why did I not do that?
You think you?
There we go. How did I not?
On this day.
There we go. That would be how we do this. We gotta have that. So let's go back to this. There we go. Here we go. Oh, you know what's so fucking A? God damn it. Sometimes, and this is not a disrespect to you, Cameraman Jay. It's just I oftentimes don't look at the names of the people in chat. I look at their profile pic. You and Nicholas Donka have the same profile pic, so I didn't realize you were in chat as well. I thought it was still Nicholas Donka. Anyway, welcome in, Cameraman Jay. Oh, that's great. Oh my god. Well, let's see what happened on this day. June 14th. Poll tax triggers the Peasants' Revolt. Anytime I hear that, I'm reminded of a joke from, was it Sweet Life of Zack and Cody or Sweet Life on Deck? I think it was Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, where they were having like a flashback to like the American Revolution. And Mr. Mosby said, the peasants are revolting. And London is like, I know, have you seen what they're wearing? So that's what every time I think of that when I hear that. Oh, the revolt. Oh, they're revolting. I know. Have you seen what they look like? Thank you, Miguel, for coming to my second stream. Oh man, no problem, Slim. I'm always there. If I'm not there chatting, I'm usually there lurking. But man, I'm glad you got your microphone fixed. I would fucking hate having to get another microphone or have to do with any audio damage or whatever. But man, here's the thing, man. If you ever do, and I think is your microphone straight USB? I think you might have told me it is. But if you ever can, I highly recommend getting upgrading to a USB or a USB interface, right? You know, to an XLR, like an actual microphone, right? Because that's what I use. Now, the microphone I use is a bit pricey. Just the microphone alone. I use a Shure SM55 Super 55. It's that, you know, I mean, you guys have seen it in my video, so you know. Yeah, that is a great thing to work on, because especially for someone like you, who's not on camera, to spec into audio over video is still a good idea. But I use what you can. But yeah, that's just my little recommendation. Like, if you ever can, I certainly do recommend it. And the audio interface I use is the Scarlett. It's the Focusrite Scarlett Solo. So it's a little small, basic one. It just has one XLR and 1/4 inch. So I don't use anything super fancy as far as that. Although, speaking of using things that are super fancy, Daryl, because of your $50 donation, I am going to get 2 of the 3. I think I can get 2 of the 3 Jackbox packs, because one of them is on sale. So seriously, Daryl, thank you. And we will be playing more Jackbox games, new to this channel, Jackbox games, this Friday. So seriously. DM all this. God, you know, dude, I hate to say it, but I'll probably forget by the end of the stream. Actually, you know what? Let me just, yeah, I'll make sure. Someone remind me. Someone make sure they remind me. Hopefully in monetary form. Anyway, let's get back to the show. Yeah, so seriously, Daryl, thank you for that. And I'm sorry the audio and the video is off sync. I don't know why. I wish I could fix that without fucking up your health bar. In 1381, Richard II of England meets with leaders of the Peasants' Revolt at Black Health. Rebels storm the Tower of London and enter without resistance. 1645, the Battle of Naseby. Oh, good lord. Something foreign-shire. Parliament's new model army under Oliver Cromwell and Thomas Fairfax defeat the royalist forces of English King Charles I. 1770, and here's an interesting thing. 1777, the U.S. Continental Congress adopts the Stars and Stripes flag designed by Francis Hopkinson, replacing the Grand Union flag. Wait a second. I thought Betsy Ross designed the flag. I always heard that that's what it was. I always see the same image of her on her little rocking chair knitting the American flag. Are you telling me it was actually a guy? Unless Francis is her real name. I don't know. Francis! Again, another fucking name when I just think of Deadpool. What's my name? Oh, I'm gonna tell you, motherfucker. In 1821, King of Sanar, Badi VII, surrenders his throne and realm to General Islami Pasha of the Ottoman Empire, bringing the 300-year-old Sudanese kingdom to an end. Oh, Lord, this next one's going to be tough, guys. Oh, boy. In 1940, Auschwitz concentration and extermination camp opens in Nazi-controlled Poland, with Polish POWs later expanded to include civilian Jews, Roman Catholics. Keep this in mind, people, before anyone wants to fucking tell you that the Nazis were Christian or they were just fighting. Anyway, Roman Catholics, Gypsies, and Soviet POWs. At least 1.1 million people will die within the walls. So it wasn't just 6 million Jews. It was most likely much fucking higher. In fact, I would say Hitler, in a shorter time frame, got close to Stalin's number, and Stalin reigned for a lot longer than Hitler did. So, interesting. And a year later, Estonia loses 11,000 inhabitants as a consequence of mass deportations into Siberia. And of course, their last one, they didn't say it. Okay, we'll bring it up. In 1982, Argentina surrenders to the United Kingdom, ending the 74-day Falklands Island conflict. Oh, the Falklands. Falkland. But the On This Day news does not end, but we need to get to a larger screen for this one. Because today, on this day in history, on this day in 1946... Come on, Twitter. In 1946, the greatest president the Americans have ever had was born. Okay? Yeah, that's right. Today is Trump's 80th birthday. Whether you love him, whether you hate him, whether you are indifferent to him, the American president is now 80. And I actually didn't know he was that fucking old. Okay? Like, Biden, I can believe, is 80. I didn't know Trump was that old. The White House put out this: happy birthday to the 45th and 47th President of the United States, one of only 2 presidents to do that, by the way, Donald J. Trump, a relentless patriot who fights every day for the country he loves, the people he serves, and the American dream. He is not a perfect man, but he is simply the best we got. And here's Gunther Eagleman. This is just really cool. Actually, this would be a really cool time for the Glory Hallelujah donation. I have a bunch of like American donations, including one from Motionless in White. So, oh, and here's the Democrats. Turns 80 today. Really? Really? You guys want to play this game? You guys want to play this game? Where were you for 4 years when Biden couldn't say a sentence? And look, yeah, Trump is old, but, you know, he's still fucking awake. And the dude doesn't fucking get sleep. He really doesn't. Fox News, happy birthday to the president. Democrats, tomorrow is Trump's 80th birthday. Does he look physically very, very good to you? He's 80. Okay? He's 80. He looks better than Biden. Fucking 80. But that's today's On This Day. Happy birthday, President Trump. You know, again, whether you love him, whether you hate him, whether you're indifferent to him, or whether you're like me, where you support him, but still will hold feet to fire and, you know, say when things are bad when they're bad. And gas prices right now are not the best, but they are slowly climbing down, and we'll get to that later on tonight. I am still a supporter of his, even after all this mess this last 6 months. And happy birthday. It's better than Harris. And I know that may be a low bar for some, but better than Harris, better than Biden, you know, better than Clinton, you know. And I mean, the fucking memes from this guy alone are just glorious. Why are we run by very old people? I have my opinions on that. And since this is my show, I have the right to stay these opinions. I don't necessarily have a problem with old people being in charge. There used to be a time in human history when our elders, the elders of the community, of the tribe, were legitimately the elders. Now, in all fairness, they also tended to be the grandparents, or the great-grandparents of our society, of the tribe again. But there used to be a time when elders were the wise ones. I don't necessarily have an issue with older people. I don't have an issue with older people. Yeah, obviously, we all know that. Look at my history with dating. Sorry, Addie. But I don't have a problem with, you know, oh, we need, you know, age limits in you know, to run for office. I agree with that. But at the same time, I don't think it's an issue that we have some old people running. I also don't think it's automatically a good thing to put new blood in the system, because look at the new blood that we're getting. Look at Ilhan Omar, AOC, that gay guy, Buttigieg. Adding new blood doesn't always make the body healthier. It has to be compatible new blood. And, you know, the problem isn't so much the age of our politicians. It's not the age, whether they're super old or super. The problem is our politicians are so fucking disconnected to the average citizen that they have no care over who they're supposed to be governing. That is the fucking problem. It's not that our leaders are 80 or in their 30s like me. The problem is they are so fucking disconnected, okay? They are so abandoned from the people that they are supposed to be held accountable to. It's like that show. I don't know what show it was, but Drunkle quotes it all the time. Like, what does a banana cost? $20? That's the problem. These people are a lot of times elitists, very narcissistic, and condescending. If we had leaders that were a little more, I mean, to be fair, we are the leaders. That we are the leaders. Let's not call them the leaders. They are not our leaders. We are the leaders. But if we had people in the Senate and Congress that were more connected, that's why the school systems are so shit. Because you have people who are voting for what your kids will do, when their kids themselves are in private schools, or worse, they don't have kids. They are voting for wars that they will never have to worry whether or not their kids are fighting in. That is the problem. Not necessarily the age, but it's the problem that they're so disconnected. I think a cap on campaign spending would give more grounded people the ability. Yes. Yeah, and you know what? Fucking quit with the foreign lobbyists. That is, I absolutely agree that there should be a limit with age. There should be. But I think there are exceptions. And yeah, absolutely. Lobbying and a lot of groups need to get the fuck out. You know? I am unfortunately not old enough to run for office, Shiru. At least not in 2028. I technically will be eligible to run for well, at least the presidency. I will be able to run for presidency in the 2034. In 2034, I think that's when I'd be able. Because you gotta be 35 to vote for people to vote for you. I'll be 33 this year, so in 2 years is. Running for Florida governor. Man, you know what? I'm literally an unknown, and quite frankly, and this is maybe this would make me a good person to run. I don't want to be in charge of people. I really don't. I don't want a crown. I don't want the authority. I don't want to. There is no age limit on VP. I don't think there's an age limit on VP, nor do I think there is a. I don't think there's a. Do you have to be I would imagine you have to be a citizen to be a vice president. But I also would think you would need to be the right age to be a vice president, because should something happen to the president, you would then step in. But if you're not from this country and not of age, you can't be. I don't actually know how that works. See, I'm not good enough, right? I don't know. I never wanted to be in charge of people. I don't want to be president or anything like that. I am honestly happy doing this. I mean, there are many times when I've done this channel and I've just been like fucking out of it and just done. Like, I just want to fucking not do this anymore. But that's not necessarily because of the channel per se. It's because of like external things. I like doing this. I like having a podcast. I like having the show. Speaking of which, we're already a half hour into the show. Let's get this show on the road. And again, thank you, Daryl. And if you guys want to be so generous, like Daryl and take Daryl out of the Stream Boss, which he will likely be for a very long time, Streamlabs down below, because we are going to be talking a lot about Didn't Do Nothings later. The rest of the news, let's start off with... there was a lot that happened in the last few... I mean, there's always a lot that happens. I have to fucking really filter out what I want to talk about through the show. The tagline for today's show is almost L.A., City of Assholes, or City of A-Holes instead of City of Angels. But Spencer Pratt declares war on corrupt L.A. Democrats in explosive concession video. Saving L.A. Phase 3. Now, if you don't know, Spencer Pratt was running for mayor of L.A., a man who deeply, deeply needs to be in charge of L.A., deeply needed to be mayor, and no one's taking me out. I mean, come on, guys. Daryl threw out a challenge. I don't think you guys are. I don't think he can think you guys are up to it. God, there's a tongue. I don't think that he thinks to think you think. I don't know. He's laying out a challenge. And is there anyone that's gonna pick up the gauntlet? That's up to you. But it's actually what really was something that kind of struck me, and I saw Razor talk about this on Twitter a little bit, is that California is such a stereotype blue area, a Democrat stronghold. Yes, I know it's mainly just, southern LA and the cities. There's a lot of red area in California, just as there's a lot of red areas in a lot of parts of this country. Kind of Porky Pig that a bit. Guys, I think that. Well, I thought. Wow, that's all, folks. Oh, actually, I think that was last week's tagline. But think about this for a second, guys. The Democrats felt the need to cheat in LA and in California. Think about that. They had to cheat in California. How bad are they polling in California that they thought they needed to cheat in it? That says a lot. That's not something I've seen a lot of people talk about. Everyone's talking about how he was cheated and they did this and they did that. Like, we all know. But why? That's really sad when you have to cheat in your own hometown. You know, look what I did with you. Look what I did to you in your own hometown. You know, like, imagine that. That is how bad the Democrats really are doing. So let's take a look at this video.
Now that the campaign portion of my mission to save Los Angeles is coming to a close and I'm moving on to the next, more interesting phase, listen, I've spent a lot of time slaying everybody. I've ridiculed everyone on the roster, and I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take the chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. You think you can get rid of me that easily? I know a lot of dim-witted jerks thought I was in this for a grift, that I was going to roll up and leave town if I didn't get into City Hall.
It's just not fair.
Hey, morons, I didn't get in this
Hey,
for political
morons.
power. I got in this to expose this corrupt machine, and nothing has changed. You enjoy your worthless meetings in City Hall.
Nithya, you have all this information. You're running for mayor. Show what you're really about, or get the fuck out of the race.
I'm going to be lighting you up every single day. Now I
fucking
don't have to worry
hell,
about
man.
CNN viewers. I don't have a campaign laws hamstringing me now. It's war. It's 0 hour for Los Angeles. Angelinos are now stuck with two morons responsible for all their problems, and they have to choose between Dumb and Dumber.
Holy
That's not a choice.
fucking
That's the machine
shit.
protecting the machine. And now every problem that plagues Los Angeles because of these two corrupt communists is going to accelerate, and the city will tumble headlong into the abyss. You have no idea how many major developers, hoteliers, business owners, entrepreneurs have been texting me saying they're packing up and leaving town. More of your favorite restaurants will be shuttering. That means less tax revenue. That means the city has to cut services, more potholes, less firefighters, less police patrols, more criminals, more drug addicts terrorizing your communities. And we haven't ended it. You have no idea how bad things are about to get for this city. Look at this place already. Weeds growing from every crack and crevice, graffiti over every square inch of public space, garbage, drugs, feces, burned up dogs, burned down towns, abandoned
this guy
storefronts.
is...
This city is a mess, and you're about to reward the arsonists who torched the place with 4 more years of destruction?
I know he's very bitter.
My goal hasn't changed. I've been laser focused on stopping these commie animals, and I will stop them. If you think we uncovered a lot of fraud and evil in the campaign, just wait. We have some recordings of one of your exalted candidates doing and saying something that would make her resign in shame. I was saving it for the general election. Go ahead and pick your demon, certify your choice, and then you get to see it. So Karen, Nithya, ask yourself, is it possible that one of your employees may have a recording of you doing or saying something that would force you to resign in disgrace? Hope you sleep well at night over the next 5 months, because you know who hasn't slept well at all for the last 17 months? My mom. All my neighbors in the Palisades. All the moms who worry about their kids walking past drug addicts in front of their schools. All the business owners getting crushed in the LA economy, worried that they can't stay in business and feed their kids. Angelinos have been struggling for years now, all while corrupt politicians and fraudulent NGOs profit off the misery and fleece us for the tax dollars. Well, now we're flipping the script. I want all of you awake at night sweating and worried about 5 a.m. when the FBI blazers bust in the door, breaking open your office, because I assure you, they're coming. You think your election was gonna stop me? If you want to stop me,
You're gonna have to fucking kill me!
Holy fucking shit! Dude, I don't even know if there is anything I need to say to that. Holy fucking shit, dude. Like, LA, this could have been your mayor, and, well, I know you, look, for anyone that's in LA right now that's watching, I know a lot of you actually did want him, but, That's not my name over here, Big Dro, but welcome in. St. Michael was not happy when I swapped his points in the wheel game. No, I wasn't happy. And you know what, Big Dro? It didn't fucking matter because I did what I fucking do in Jackbox. I fucking win. That's why I am a Jackbox Olympic champion. Okay? You put me from 9,000 points. You put me back down to 700 points. And you know what? I scratched, I clawed, I dug in my heels, and I got back up, and I fucking spun the wheel and won. Anyway, welcome in, Big Dro. Thank you. Seriously, thanks for stopping by. And honestly, Big Dro, there have been a few people in the Olympics who have really made me work for a win. You and Sneck are certainly some of the toughest people to fight. Like, and Steve Dave, certainly Steve Dave. He's a real funny guy. But Big Dro, you are a tough guy to fight in Jackbox. You truly are. But I sense a bit of bitterness. No. I still ended up winning. But welcome in, Big Joe. I don't know what else I can say about this Spencer Pratt. Like, man, this dude, I hope he continues. I hope he drags every fucking one of those scum fucks down. I hope he tears every one of them a new fucking asshole. Because they fucking deserve it. And it is kind of sad, because on one hand, you kind of have to say that LA and California gets what it deserves, you know? They voted for this, so they deserve to sit in it. And to a degree, to an absolute degree, that is 100% correct, because the people that didn't vote for Pratt, the people that did vote for the continuation of the person responsible for why their lives are shit, they absolutely fucking deserve everything that they will get. But the large portion, and I would say he would have won, so I'll say the majority of people there that voted for Pratt, that wanted change, that wanted to actually try and undo damage, I feel so bad for them, because they don't get what they deserve, you know? And this is kind of the problem with our two-party system, and I'm not fighting for more parties. I don't think more parties will answer our problems, because if you have more parties, then you're just going to have a European or Canadian model, where in Canada or in Europe or whatever, you have, or specifically not Europe, but the UK, I mean, where you have like 4 or 5 whatever parties, and one party can get 30% of the vote but still win. Like, they won, but only 30% of the fucking population want them. So it's not really fair to the other 70. This is why I'm staunchly under the idea that we need to go to what our founders would have wanted, and our founders didn't want fucking political parties. I get it, humans, we want a tribe, we like to collectivize, we like to form a little group around people we all agree with, but we should not get parties, because parties, as I've always said, parties are nothing more than a tug of war between two sides that will offer you the most free shit if you make them powerful. That's all it is. And the worst part is it's gotten to a point where the native population, being us Americans, who are, as the Constitution was for, our Constitution was for a just and moral populace. The Constitution is only it only matters when you have a group of people that believe it matters. When that population doesn't care, and that's why they're influxing us with so many Islamic and African and Indian and European socialist fucking people, to remove us and vote in a new slave class. And that's just what it is. It's just what it is. And you know what? Like what Steve Dave says. He calls his show the Silence Banter because they talk about things that no one wants to talk about. My show is Midnight Mass. because, well, really, that's just the best name. I will absolutely say it. They want a fucking absolute slave class. That's why they're bringing in new people. And that's why California is what it is. Moderate is the only way to go. I don't really think... Here's the thing. Like, I never believed that conservatism or liberalism were necessarily enemies. I always understood with the idea that conservatism is visual, is logic, is fact, whereas liberal is verbal, feelings, and emotion, right? That is a thing that those things need to work together. You know, it's like a marriage. Conservatism tends to be the much more masculine, and liberal tends to be the much more feminine. But here's the thing. Our society needs to be like, conservatism is this big wall where inside everyone is allowed to be a little liberal. As long as the strong shell holding everything together is conservatism, is facts and logic, then you can have your liberal free speech, your liberal idea of, agree to disagree, blah, blah, blah. That's how, it's like in a marriage, right? As long as the husband, the man is, head of household, the captain, then the co-captain, the first mate can, do a little of her things so long as the captain is still in charge. That's the way I see it. It's not one or the other. If you think, if you believe that if there was an island run and populated only by women, that it would be a paradise, or if there was an island run and populated only by men, that it would be a paradise, I'm here to tell you, you're fucking both wrong. Because an island populated by nothing but women would just be fucking chaotic, because there'd all be backstabbing and collective. And an island of fucking men would just be lazy, because there'd be nothing to do. The reason why men go out and conquer and do great architecture and do amazing things is to get status and land and whatever, which is ultimately to find a mate. A lot of this stuff you can fucking figure out and understand if you understand biology, but are not a slave or subject to it. To be in the world but not of it. I wonder what book said that. So that's my opinions on conservatism and liberalism. This is interesting. Confirmed Ebola case in Africa rise to above 500. So they're still talking about Ebola. Now, I know Ebola is actually a disease worth perking our ears up about. It truly is a horrific disease. That being said, I don't care. Now, I'm not saying I don't care about life loss. I don't care about people getting sick or dying and all that. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying with this is I'm not doing this again. Okay? I'm not wearing a mask for fucking 3 years. I'm not being locked in my house for 3.5 fucking years. I'm not being able to have freedom for 3.5 fucking years. I'm not doing this again. I don't care what disease it is. And quite frankly, this one will fucking burn itself out. It will grow and then it'll just burn itself out because it will kill larger than it can infect. That's what it does. Okay? And I'm not saying that Ebola is some kind of new scamdemic or whatever. It truly is a horrific disease. It truly is a nightmare. It's got an insanely high mortality rate. But I'm just not doing this again. I don't fucking care. Ebola is spread through physical contact. It's spread through contact with bodily fluid. So spit, blood, things like that. Anyone who's ever read The Hot Zone, you'll know. I am one of those people. It's honestly one of my favorite books I've ever read for high school. But I just don't care. I legitimately just do not care. I'm not shutting down for this again. Okay? Speaking of diseases, Tulsi Gabbard to declassify COVID cover-up and Havana syndrome documents before exit. So she's still technically in her position before she leaves, but she will be declassifying the COVID cover-up. Well, at least if this headline is to be believed. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard is racing to declassify documents about the COVID-19 cover-up and the Havana syndrome before she leaves the administration at the end of this month, the Daily Caller has learned. DNI Gabbard is actively working to declassify the COVID cover-up, the scamdemic, and the health incidents before her exit on June 30th. An ODNI official told DCNF. Oh my God. Havana syndrome, officially known as anomalous health incidents, AHI, describes a cluster of symptoms first reported in 2016 by a CIA officer stationed in Havana, Cuba, and experienced by American diplomats, spies, and other officials abroad. Any of these officials described a loud noise and intense pressure in the head and ears followed by symptoms including severe headaches, brain fog, blurred vision, tinnitus, and vertigo. Oh shit, maybe that's what happened to Polly. And if the Dems do win in 2028, they will arrest everyone that voted against them. See, that's the thing. And I get a lot of heat from people about this, is I understand, like, when the left says they're going to do something, when they get in power, they absolutely fucking do something with it. So the Republicans would have to fucking get in power and fucking do something. That doesn't mean you act like them. That doesn't mean you lock their bank accounts. That doesn't mean you arrest them. That doesn't mean you do all the fucking shit that they did. But you need to fucking, you need to fucking do something, okay? Which means most likely getting less government in the way, not getting more government in our way, you know? Because the reality of everything is that if the Democrats really wanted a fair debate, they would never win. Which is why they stack the deck, which is why they own the media, which is why they buy out media, or they censor and they do all this shit. So the answer isn't more, it's less. That's just when it comes to government. It is. We have too much. So, yeah, I want all this fucking declassified. Let it all out. And will this be dragged out like the Epstein shit? I don't know. Is there anything really there like with the Epstein shit? I don't know. But we all know that the COVID shit was a fucking scam. And a big problem is the fact that not a lot of people are getting arrested or held accountable for what all this is done, even though we all know it's total bullshit. It's really losing faith in our system, and that's why a lot of people are black-pilled. Because they are vindictive and want revenge. Oh, they are... It's not really about revenge. They are a virus. They are a virus, and they will continue to eat and spread and grow, because that's what they do. They don't stop. That's how you defeat a virus. You don't reason with it. You don't placate to it. You get rid of it. Absolutely get rid of it. And the Democrats, they haven't all... I don't want to say all of them, because there are some, but they are just too overrun with Marxist, Islamic, anti-American, anti-white, even though I've said my piece on that before, and anti-Christian. That's just what runs their party now. They've let the extremes win. And the reason they let the extremes win is because they had to. Because they don't know the meaning of the word no. They are the purest definition of slippery slope. Because, well, when you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. It's just how it is. It's just what they do. Okay, this is a fucked up story. And I know there's a lot of stories like this going on right now. There's that beheading that happened recently. Tallarico is the only Democrat who's tolerable for them. Dude, that guy is such a fucking asshole. He is such a heretic piece of shit. Oh my god. And then again, he is not. He is absolutely not. He's not Christian in the fucking slightest. And I do consider Catholics, some Catholics, Christian. I absolutely do. Same as I consider some Protestants. You know, the basis isn't so much what you know, rituals you follow, but the point of the ritual. But yeah, Tallarico is a fucking idiot. But 5 stabbed in an apparent random attack. I don't know how random it really is. Inside New York City's Penn Station. Now, it's New York City. It's a stabbing attack. Anyone want to make some bets on what they think it is? I mean, I haven't looked into it, but I guess 5 people were stabbed Sunday night in New York City's Penn Station. Amtrak police said an individual was taken into custody who was believed to have a mental health issue. No, you don't say. But according to NBC, police said they do not believe the attack was connected to terrorism. Well, we'll see. The incident took place at about 7 p.m., according to the New York Post. 1 victim suffered serious injuries, 2 were labeled as having moderate injuries, and 1 had a minor injury. The attacker who was tackled by Amtrak police was also injured. Fuck him, I don't care. People were flooding out of the station. One user who said he witnessed the event wrote a post on social media. Okay, here he is. I can't see him. So my guess is that black, Muslim, well, Muslim first, Muslim, black, or crazed, drug-addled, homeless. That's my guess. Mayor Zoran Mandami called the incident horrific. I have been briefed on the horrific stabbing at Penn Station based on the information available right now. 6 people were stabbed, and the alleged perpetrator is in custody following a swift response from Amtrak department. It's kind of interesting that this shit even happens in New York City, because I really thought that once they got rid of guns that violence would stop, right? Isn't that what we were told? That if we get rid of guns, that people would be okay, people would be safe? You know, how is it, Mondummy, that this shit's still happening? You know, you get rid of the big scary pew pews, you rewrite the fucking Second Amendment to fit your fucking delusional communist worldview, and yet still you have, I would say, horrific violence. I would say, honestly, stabbings are far worse than in many cases, far worse. Because sometimes with, you know, a gun, it's one and done. I mean, that's horrific, but it's, you know, true. With a stabbing, I mean, you don't really end up dying instantly. You tend to just bleed out and your lungs fill with fluid. And it's far more personal. You know, you have to be up close to your victim, whereas with a gun, you could be several yards away. You know? It is interesting. A Penn Station worked. I'm guessing they meant to say worker. Oh, we don't need editors. Penn Station worker told the New York Post that I got calls to start closing the station. It was real bloody. There was a lot of blood on the floor. Yeah, because you had 5 or 6 people stabbed. 6 people were injured in a stabbing attack in the New York system. Let's see if we can get it. Oh! Wait! That doesn't look like a white guy. I'm just gonna say it. I think that might be a snicker. I'm just saying. It didn't look that way to me. It could just be the lighting. Yep. Yep. So this is... Yeah, so that's just them taking the injured. You can be standing there waiting for your train, and the next thing you know is you're waking up in the hospital with one of your eyes gone. A woman identified as Nia Carrington, 52, told the news, oh my God, Haitian or Somali, I don't know. Yeah, it's fucking interesting. New York, like I said with LA, you know, you get what you fucking deserve. Which, by the way, is also a donation as well. I don't know which one it is. Bad joke or something? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, New York, you fucking hellhole. But it doesn't... New York, liberal Democrats, you guys just do not fucking stop, do you? You just don't fucking stop. This guy I've done a couple videos on. Graham Plattner, who is the guy running for Senate in Maine, I believe, with the Totenkopf Nazi tattoo. Well, not only did he have that, which he also came out, you know, he claimed it was PTSD, he claimed he got it while he was drunk and abroad or whatever. No, he was he's a history guy, you know, a noted history buff, as he says. You think you would have known. Oliver Tree. Yeah, I know. I heard about that. The dude was 32. 32. It was two helicopters collided. That's fucked up, man. I think that news came out like just before, or I seen it just before the show started. So yeah, the F's for that guy. I don't know who he is. Apparently he was a massive YouTuber, but yeah, still, 232. God, that's insane. But the liberals excuse Nazi tattoo on Plattner, but says Israeli one would lose her vote due to genocide. I'm just gonna let you guys kind of go over that headline in your mind. Come again, stupid? Really? This guy honestly has exposed. Well, I wouldn't say exposed because there's still stupid people out there. Has really shown how the left truly are the Nazis. They absolutely are. They are the commies, the Nazis, they are the Marxists, they are whatever. And as much as anyone wants to fucking sit and tell me that there's a goddamn bit of difference between the National Socialists, the Fascists, the Communists, the Bolsheviks, the Marxists, all that fucking shit, they are all the same. They are all the same. They are just different shits from the same asshole, okay? Some are just more watery and some are just more hard to push out, okay? That's it. Newts. Jews, why? Oh, that's another good donation. I've only ever seen that one once. Jews, why? 60 something. It spells out whatever. But they dragged Elon Musk through the fucking dirt because of his, albeit poorly gestured, hand goes out to you, heart goes out to you. But this guy who has a literal Nazi tattoo on his chest for decades and only cared about it once he got into politics, they're totally fine. And a Nazi tattoo, which, by the way, the Totenkopf, this particular skull, is of a particularly disgusting branch of the Nazi party. But that's fine, whereas an Israeli tattoo, or an Israeli flag tattoo, that's a problem.
totem pole tattoo, the Nazi tattoo? How do you kind of...
Somebody said that they talked to somebody who had seen one of those or wore one of those, and it was silver, and it didn't even occur to him that it was the same thing. I think people are making as much of it as they can because they don't have a lot of substance around anything else.
You motherfuckers will make anything a fucking Nazi symbol. You motherfuckers will fucking pull any red string you can. They fucking did, and I kid you fucking not. They looked at the shape of the stage for the Republican debates. Was it the most recent one? I can't remember if it was the most recent one or the one where Biden, quote, won. But I think it was the most recent one. And they said, oh, that Republican stage is a Nordic rune. And Nordic rune means Nazi. Well, sure, because the Nazis weren't Christians. They were very much Nordic pagans, especially the higher ups. Yeah, sure, there was a bunch of Christians that were in the Nazis that thought they were doing the right thing, because, you know, that's why people who, and I swear to God, this is fucking retarded. If you think you can be Christian and a socialist, you're a fucking idiot. You're an absolute fucking idiot. And there are people, unfortunately, they're in Sinatra's server, and mine, that legitimately fucking think that. No. Because socialism was forced by the government. Jesus preached charity. They are not compatible with each other. So, yeah, the idea of, you know, Christian socialists to me is no different than Jews turning to the Bolsheviks because they wanted the idea of everyone living together and being, you know, whatever. They were fucking fooled. Okay? They were fucking fooled. They'd say Jesus was yeah, I am so fucking sick of that bullshit. Jesus was a socialist. No, he fucking wasn't. Just because he said render to Caesar what is Caesar's doesn't mean he was for government, okay? He just meant give to the world what is the world's and give to God what is God's, okay? He wasn't saying, you know, we need to redistribute the wealth or we need to do... No. But these motherfuckers will pull at any fucking string possible to make Trump or Vance or you or me or Elon, whatever, look like a Nazi. But they are actively fucking defending an obvious fucking symbol. Tell me again how the left aren't the actual Nazis. Whereas you have so many on the right claiming that the Nazis were right-leaning. No, they weren't. They might have been more right-leaning than Stalin and the Marxists, but they were still left of conservatism, of capitalism. They hated capitalism. It's fucking ridiculous.
And if they did, we'd hear about it, believe me. They are trolling for dirt.
Trolling for dirt. You mean the guy who not only has a Nazi tattoo, but was trolling on a website that has had a known child exploitation problem, who joined the service and he made an account after they were being investigated? Really? Who also was messaging explicitly other women that's not his wife right after they got married?
So what if he had like a Israeli flag tattoo or something? Would that be a deal breaker?
For me?
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah.
That would be
Israeli? Yeah, because I don't support genocide and he doesn't either. And that would show that he was being inconsistent. And he's been very consistent about that. Straight across the board.
Oh my fucking God. So, an Israeli flag, and I have my criticisms of Israel. They are not the holy people. They are not, you know, the chosen ones anymore, unless they're messianic. I have my issue with them. I think their government is like any other secular, and there are legitimate issues we can talk about. But are you really going to sit there and tell me that an Israeli flag is far more a symbol of genocide than an actual fucking Nazi skull? I'm sorry, but what fucking stupidity are you fucking... What level of stupidity have you reached? That is fucking insane. Okay? Is Israel doing everything on the up and up and being sparkly clean when it comes to what they do over there? No. No. But are they doing anything sort of a genocide? No. Fuck you. You want a genocide? How about a fucking Iranian flag? Who are still actively killing protesters. Fuck yourself, you dumb fucking cunt. I guess we know what the HH on her back stands for. Oh my god. Trolling for dirt. Somebody she talked to somebody. Oh, okay, so it's heard it from a friend who heard it from a... Okay. He knows, and he said that that's the defense. But an Israeli flag tattoo, ooh, no. Democrat logic 101. There is no logic. To find logic in this is to remove all sense of brain cells from your fucking cranium and just go along with whatever fucking CNN or whatever Young Turks have to say. Zero tolerance. DOJ seeks to strip citizenship from 17 migrant criminals, including Indian H-1B fraudster. Now, I know a lot of people probably have opinions on this. The idea of the United States government or whatever stripping American citizenship from people seems very wrong, right? And a lot of people would probably say, well, the law that you used on your opponent will be used on you one day. And I get that. Here's the thing. 17 migrant criminals, including one H-1B fraudster. You know, the H-1Bs that you guys didn't fucking want in this country in the first place? So, you know what? I'm fine with this. I think a lot of people, a lot of migrants should not be considered citizens. In fact, I don't think they should be here. And we're going to get to supposedly a self-exodus towards the end of the show. But I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. I think if you come here and you're a migrant and you scam our people, you hurt our people, you sell them drugs, you do everything that you don't... You do everything to show that you don't actually want to be here, well, guess what? Bye. Bye. Out of here. Gone. Totally. Get the fuck out. Never come back. Banned from life. Banned for life. Well, banned from life as well, maybe. Totally get fucked. But speaking of people, well, we'll get more into self-deportation later, but this was interesting. Poll, 55% of Democrats would rather live outside of the United States. I would like everyone, Kaito, you know, you're an honorary American. I want everyone to just say, bye. Bye. Get lost. Fuck you. Leave. Don't come back. We don't want you. If you'd rather live... I think all H-1B visas need to be reassessed, not just the Indian... Absolutely. Absolutely. See, I don't care where they come from. And see, this is why I also add the European Nordic area socialists, because so many retards will praise Europe because it's white and then shit on everyone else because they're brown, right? We don't want Indians here. We don't want Muslims here. They'll call Muslim a race, even though it's not. They'll throw in everyone. But then they'll say, well, what if we had more Europeans, migrants? Yeah, you know those same Europeans that thought it's a good idea to not have guns, or the same Europeans that think it's a good idea to not be able to use a meme unless they'll be arrested? The same Europeans that want to bitch and complain about how we don't need a military while we have free healthcare? No, I don't want them here either. But they're white. I don't care. I don't fucking care. You know who I want in this country? Black, brown, white, purple, green, yellow. I want people who want to be here and be fucking Americans. Okay? That's what I want. Come here, do what you gotta do, keep your nose clean, and contribute to this country. Because America is not a race. All the same to Europeans that hate America and America. Yeah. I don't want them here either. I don't want them here. If you're a white guy some white dude that's here that doesn't want to be in America, that thinks, it's better off in socialism land, then you know what? Fuck off. You and 55% of Democrats can fuck off. Like me and Nyala. Yeah, you, obviously Nyala, who else? Big Sad, Wade, Beppis, whatever. Yeah, those people who want to be American, you're honorary American. And so, yeah, H-1Bs and these fucking Democrats that don't want to be in America, go, leave, try it. You know what? And it's like that bitch who tried to run over the ICE agents. Remember her? Brittany, or what was her name? I'm thinking, I think I'm something else. But her and her partner, because I don't consider that a wife. It's only a wife if it's to a man. Her and her partner moved to Canada because they thought it was so much better, and then moved back. Honestly, if you want to go and burn Amara, yes, Amara. That's it. Renee Good. I knew it was something good. I don't know why I said Brittany. Brittany Good. But if you want to go and burn your American passport or whatever and just fuck off to another country, no, you don't get to come in. You don't get to be those Al-Qaeda brides or those ISIS brides. You fuck off. You know what? Because honestly, if that many people on the Democrats' side, or really any side, if that many people don't want to be in America, get the fuck out. Get the fuck out. Okay? Just leave. Okay? If you hate this country so much, go somewhere else. You know what? And I would be fine with having tax money pay to have you shipped to a country of your choice. You want to go and live in China? You want to go and live in fucking Iran? You want to go and live in Canada or wherever? Go. Go. All expense paid. Just go and never return. Because you know what? Then the people that are here want to be here, and then we'll fucking fix things. That's how it should be. But we all know that they're like Hassan Piker, that piece of shit scum fucking faggot, that they're just champagne socialists. That's all they are. They know that they don't actually want to leave America because they have nothing to bitch about. But again, polls are kind of unreliable. They really are. But if that many people don't want to be in America, I say let them fucking leave. Oh, this is disgusting. Polyamorous Presbyterians, I don't even know what a Presbyterian is, rage against PCUSA's new rule that requires pastors, even gay ones, to be monogamous. I'm sorry. This is going to piss me off. What? First off, there are no such things as gay pastors, okay? Because there's no such thing as murderous pastors. There's no such thing as thieving pastors. There's no such thing as pedophile pastors. There are murderers, pedophiles, thieves that disguise themselves as pastors, but they don't work. Again, it's like being a Christian and a socialist. It doesn't fucking work. a polyamorous preacher and a gay preacher that don't exist, because God forbid that a preacher or a pastor, a Muslim pastors, so technically that does exist. They're just called imams, I believe. Like, that's what they call their preachers. Like, Jews call theirs rabbi. So that's I understand what you're saying, but it if you use a similar word, it makes sense. But no, because again, like I said, God forbid you have a pastor that adheres to the fucking Bible, wherein it talks about what a good relationship is. Yes, though the word homosexuality or abortion, for that matter, are not expressly said in the Bible, those things are prohibited. They are frowned upon. They are told to be evil and sin. So, no. And yes, there are times in the Bible where you've had harems. Here's the thing. There's a bit of context for that one. In the New Testament, when it talks about them, it's basically the people asking Paul, like, hey, we were pagans and we married multiple women, but now we're Christians and we know that this is wrong. Should we divorce our wives? And I think it was Paul. I could be wrong, but Paul was like, no, because you made this commitment to the woman. Live it out here, but beyond that, no. Don't teach your kids to do this. And in the Old Testament, you had Solomon, right? He was famous for having like 1,000 women, right? He had like 700 wives and 300 concubines. Here's the thing. All of those wives were political. He would conquer or marry into to have good relations with different kingdoms. So he would take women and marry them. Which is why so much problem came to be, because he was having so many people from different cultures come into his kingdom, and he had different women with different cultures, which was ruining his family, which then in turn ruined the kingdom at large. So the story wasn't, hey, look, you can have 1,000 women in your palace. But that's what ultimately destroyed his kingdom. That's what ultimately brought ruin to him and his family, is that he had all these multicultural women, and I'm not blaming women, but these multicultural wives that he couldn't be the head of household for all of them and appease all of them because they come from different... He was not just unequally yoked, he was unequally fucking omeletted. Multiple women, that sounds tedious. Honestly, it really does. It really does, And I mean no disrespect here, but dealing with one woman is already fucking a pain in the ass for me. I don't particularly want to deal with more than one. So I don't get along with Muslims, they annoy me. Speaking of people who annoy you, Streamlabs.com. Yeah, but yeah, multiculturalism in this is just like... I don't get it. Like, and if you seriously go to a church and they have a rainbow that is not the one of Noah, I would, either get up and walk out or fucking say something, because that is not a house of God. That is a synagogue of Satan. And synagogue just simply meaning place of worship, not specifically Jewish. But more on the Christian fucking queer shit. Kids dance with tip drag queens at Pride event in Texas. What the fuck, Texas? What the fuck is this shit? Kids at it. Look, I'm not for drag shows. I'm not for all this gay fucking shit, okay? I don't care. Now, do I want people hurt or harmed? or necessarily legally barred from doing things. No, I am still fairly socially liberal on some things. While I don't agree with a lot of it, and maybe if I was in charge, this shit would be illegal. Again, this is one of the reasons why I don't want to be in charge. But certainly don't allow kids. And we talked about this last week. It always ends up being with kids. It always ends up and always has involved kids. Okay? Anyone, all these activists, they wanted no age of consent. They wanted to lower the age of consent. They wanted to do all these things. They want to make kids more comfortable with sexual shit. They want to put kids around drag shows and think it's okay. They want to put kids in pride parades and think it's okay. They want to take kids to fucking sex shops and think it's okay. It's all about, and it's truly the mentality, and this is a mentality that the right needs to learn, and by right, I mean culturally right, as in correct. They need to understand that the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. There's a fucking reason they're going after kids, because kids are the next generation, and unfortunately, you have a high, like every fucking generation, the amount of people that identify as some fucking form of queer doubles in each generation. While also at the same time, a lot of Gen Z is actually denouncing a lot of this shit. At least, I think some of the men are, but still, they need to understand the hand that rocks the cradle rules the world. That's why they got moms out of the home. That's why they got dads out of the home. That's why they put kids in the government-run schools. This is all tethered to... It's not even really tethered to Marxism. Like, I always point to Marxism, but Marxism wasn't the big bang of all this. It wasn't. Marxism is just the current version of the satanic poison. And everyone's saying it's probably Austin. Does it say? Round Rock. It's in Round Rock, Texas. Where does anyone know where that is? Is that in Austin, or is that close to? I don't actually know. But it's in Round Rock, Texas. But regardless, it's Texas. I mean, this is evil. I'm not listening to that. This is disgusting. This is evil. And that's Austin? Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense too. Oh. This is just... No, this is disgusting. Although, speaking of tipping, again, streamlabs.com / whatever the fuck it is, because I don't have Vexorcist for my Streamlabs. It's St. Michael, whatever. And again, guys, Daryl O is not only still Stream Boss, but Daryl O is actually looking to take the spot away from Lunatic this month. Lunatic is in the lead for this month. Daryl O really just shot up with one fucking hit. So, if anyone wants to try and take him out and take his spot, feel free. We still got a bit of this here. James Tallarico, I was talking about him earlier, is backtracking on his woke beliefs now that he's in the general election.
You know, James, I hear consistent tropes about you being way too liberal for Texas, that you're pro-sex surgery for minors, and on and on and on. How do you respond to that?
Well, just on that particular accusation, I oppose gender reassignment surgeries for minors.
This is the same guy. Texas Democrat U.S. Senate candidate James Tallarico loves things that don't exist, otherwise known as trans kids. Host, something that you love that's not family or friends.
Something that you love that's not family or friends.
I love, I'm just saying this because it's on my mind, the trans children.
Okay, I'm sorry. Uh-oh, lunatic. Oh no. Darlow, lunatic. Is there a battle? Is there a battle? But first off, no, he absolutely is for. How can you be against the surgery, but then say you like trans kids? Also, I'm gonna try and say this without getting clipped here, because this is a disgusting thing. How can you say that you love trans kids? That is a very creepy thing to say. It's a creepy now, it's not in the context of like, I am a man, I'm an adult man, you know, who might not be married, who says, you know, I would love to be a father, you know, I'd love to be a parent, I love kids. That's the context that is a correct way for an adult human being to say that they love kids. In a parental context, this man is very creepily saying that he loves trans kids. Again, it's always going after kids. They always go after children. And you call that modern? That, yeah. They're putting chemicals in the water. It turns the kids trans. Oh god, that's actually true though. This guy is an absolute scumfuck. Also, Tallarico.
We have to protect good-paying oil and gas jobs. You know, I've had family members who have worked in the oil and gas industry. I went to Texas public schools funded by Texas Oil and Gas, so I owe a lot to the industry, and I know that some of these jobs keep whole families afloat. Sure. And so I want to protect our status as an energy leader here in Texas.
Protect oil and gas. Isn't that kind of interesting? I'll let Grok summarize the lies here. RNC Research posted that video of Texas Democrat Tallarico stating that we have to protect good-paying oil and gas jobs, while accusing him of hypocrisy for introducing HB House Bill 2206 in 2021. The 2021 bill, known as the Texas Climate Action Act, proposed requiring that state to create a plan reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 10% of 1990 levels by 2050. So you're all for good oil and gas jobs, but you want to reduce oil and gas because of global warming. Just be authentic, you snake. Yeah. Dude is absolute fucking scum. But for those 55% of Democrats that think the grass is always greener on the other side, let's not just focus on the fact that a lot of places that they would want to go to, they actually would hate because, you know, it's expensive, there's no houses, and you basically have no rights like you do here in America. There's also a lot of places that are just becoming far more done with their bullshit. You know, Japan elected their prime minister. You have Argentina who elected theirs. South America continues to shift hard to the right. Check out Peru's presidential election. The right-wing candidate, and by the way, these are also women. Japan elected a totally fucking based as fuck woman, which is, you know, really probably sticking in the craw of a lot of people on the quote right. That's like, oh, we shouldn't have women in politics. We shouldn't have women leaders. And again, I will make the case that, yes, men should be head of household. Men should be blah, blah, blah. But if we have representatives, I don't really care what's between their legs, just as long as they act in line. And yeah, you know, men and women, I'll ultimately understand, are different, whatever. Voting rights should definitely be curtailed for everyone, not just women. But again, I find it so funny that the right-wing candidate, oh lord, Keiko Fujimori, is projected to win. That doesn't even, okay, that sounds like a Japanese name. But is projected to win the Peruvian presidential election. She has 50.46% of the votes, with 90% of the votes counted. The far-left candidate, R. Sanchez, is 49.55. They haven't counted the votes from abroad yet, where she's strong. So it doesn't look like moving to South America is going to do a whole lot for all those 55% of Democrats that want to leave the United States because they think it's so fucking terrible. So, again, while I'm fine with them leaving, I wish they actually would. You might want to do a little more research on where you go. You know, just saying. But going back to the Eurotards and the trans shit, this actually should have been right after. I don't know why that was not where it belongs. But Spanish Museum launches Virgin Mary-inspired art exhibit featuring trans-identified male models in lingerie. I think I just threw up in my mouth. Virgin Mary-inspired art exhibit featuring trans-identified male models. First off, I have no idea what the so that's men that think they're women? So, men in lingerie. Oh, God. Seriously, please donate, because I think I'm going to need a fucking doctor after this. My only real response to this is, now do Islam. Now portray Muhammad as a trans, lesbian, whatever. Please skip this one. You know what? I think I'll do what Sinatra does. I'll skip this if let's see. If we see, I don't know what donation I have that's perfect for this. Deus Vault? Yeah. I'll stop reading this if we see Deus Vault. I think that's 1066. I'll skip past the pictures. Oh, Lord. But the museum in Guadalajara in Spain is under fire for an exhibition that reimagines the Virgin Mary using trans-identified male models and fetish-inspired imagery, drawing condemnation from women's rights activists and Catholic groups alike. Isn't it funny that you're getting women's rights activists and Catholics teaming up? Which, by the way, I mean, really, there's no pro-woman way of thinking beyond Christianity. I mean, Jesus was very much pro-woman, you know. He was just pro-humanity in general, but, you know, you could almost call him an actual feminist if you want to use a definition of feminist that fights for the equality of women. Not the actual term feminist, which is basically just angry lesbians. Open in the public on May 7th and running through June 21st. Alonso Cano, like a virgin, claims to attempt to develop the contemporary ideological discourse on sexuality, gender, and the reappropriation of the female body in art. What the actual fuck are you even saying? What the actual fuck are you... The reappropriation... So men are taking control of what the women are, of women's bodies? What is this saying? Men are taking control of what it means to be a woman? I am so confused. I don't know what this is trying to fucking say. I may actually have to skip this one because we're fucking gnat. I may actually have to skip this because, oh my god, I didn't realize it was as late as it was. But this is just... Oh, Lord. No, I'm not looking at this. No. Rather than presenting the painting solely as a historical masterpiece, the exhibition claims to use it as a starting point for the conversation that doesn't need to happen about the representation and censorship of womanhood in religious imagery. Can anyone tell me what censorship has happened to women in religious imagery? Because even religions that aren't super pro-woman, there were depictions of women in their art. And certainly with Christianity, specifically Catholicism, I would argue, overtly venerate a woman to the point where she doesn't deserve. But what censorship of women has there been in Christianity specifically? Because this is the religion you're going after. You would never dare do a depiction of Muhammad as a trans woman. You would, you know what? How about next, instead of a trans woman dressing up as the Virgin Mary, how about a trans woman dressing up as the 6-year-old Aisha, the little girl that Muhammad married? How about that? How about you depict her? Oh God, you know what? I think I am gonna move on from this. This is, as much as I want to see that fucking Deus Vult, I'm gonna throw up in my mouth. But speaking of gays and Muslims, Muslims go off on British children's book company, the company, for posting cartoon of a lesbian mom in hijab. This is why you don't appease everyone, because you're never going to win. Yeah, the left and lefties, they can't capitulate enough. And this is just the snake eating its own tail. Like, who are they going to attack? You know, are they going to attack the company for offending the Muslims, or are they going to defend or attack the Muslims for, you know, going after gays? It's like, what are you? Like, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. Ladybird Books is a London-based publisher for children's books. Last week posted this. Why is one of them dressed like Peter Griffin? Like, seriously, look at that. The one on the left is dressed exactly like Peter Griffin. I mean, they're wearing shorts instead of pants, but that looks exactly like the same. Just a skinny female Peter Griffin. Oh my God. This guy says it the best. We've done it. Peak woke. This is an extremely disrespectful post. Interesting. As you might be able to see from the first few comments, this is an attempt at marketing. Did not go well. A major children's book company owned by Penguin Random House is featuring a lesbian couple for Pride Month. Duh. No, it's Jurassic June. It's Jurassic June. By the way, we also have a bunch of dinosaur donations that are really cool, especially Hail to the Queen. That one I really like. And one of those lesbians is a devout Muslim in a hijab. Okay, how devout of a Muslim are you if you're a lesbian? Because I don't think they're very pro-gay in Islam. It's kind of like being a gay Christian or a gay Jew. Like, you know, it just doesn't work. I don't know how devout a woman you could be. Just because you wear a fucking hijab, it doesn't change the fact that you're living in, well, sin, not only just for Islam, but still. But this is interesting. This is funny. Ladybird Books nearing peak woke. Yep. Also, the child is disabled, and the white lesbian has a leg tattoo as well as a full sleeve, which actually seems like a possibility, possibly a hate crime. Just for spice, I'm choosing to believe the one in the hijab is trans, the white girl is a Mormon, and they had the baby using a white girl's mother as a surrogate, who also happens to be pagan priestess, yoga instructor, and part-time congresswoman. Oh God, this is just the snake eating its own tail, and I fucking love it. Oh my God. And they deserve every bit of it. Oh my god. You cannot claim to promote inclusion while using a religious symbol in that way that many followers of that religion finds offensive. The hijab deserves the same respect you expect for every other identity out there. As a Muslim, respectfully, this is not in alignment. Please go watch Maria.thinks on TikTok. Her latest video explains it very well, how we can live beside each other but have different values. Islam doesn't actually believe that. I don't want my children having these values. Oh my, this is just, oh my god. I honestly, there's a phrase, you don't interrupt your enemy when they're doing something stupid. I'm just gonna sit and watch this, because this is two disastrously dangerous dogs that the commies and Marxists have fed. And to be fair, they've done this throughout history. Well, more recent history. Historical communists actually were not fans of Jews or, well, it depends on the Muslims, of gays. This is just the two dogs that they fed over and over and over for decades now, going to war with each other. So I'm just gonna sit back and fucking watch them fight. And that's all I can do with this, because it's just absolutely insane. His job deserves the same respect as other identities. I don't want my children having these values. Don't disrespect other religious beliefs. I mean, it's funny. It's really funny. They try to be inclusive, and yet you can never be inclusive enough. This is why you don't bend the knee to these people. Ever. Ever. Because Ethiopian Christians are being massacred, dozens murdered over last week, historic church torched. At least 37 Orthodox Christians were killed June 1st, with more than 280 households torched. The World Council of Churches website, I don't know how to say that, reported that an Orthodox church that was more than a century old was torched. 2 other churches were looted. Christians are being massacred in Ethiopia, and most of the world's media couldn't care less. Churches burned, families slaughtered, entire communities displaced. If this happens to almost any other group, it would dominate headlines for weeks. Yep. 13 Orthodox Christians massacred, historic church burned in East Arsai attacks, Ethiopia 13. Haven't heard the Pope talk about this. Haven't heard. Heading to bed. Good night. Night, Donka. Good night. Okay, I'm here. You can start the show. Okay, you know what, guys? No, Donka, you can't leave. We gotta restart the entire show because Steve decided to finally fucking show up. Oh, fucking late. Late. Like a snicker. Interesting. Not saying anything. But human rights groups and government critics have accused the administration of PM, of repeatedly denying or downplaying reports of extrajudicial killing of civilians. And the report said, oh no, I'm not playing that video. There's no way I want to say that. Where's the Pope on this? Where's the Pope? The lost Pope. Yeah, he wants to talk about all that shit that apparently he cares about, and the fucking Pope wants to do fucking gay-ass fucking 6'7" meme, but he doesn't take a fucking second to talk about this? Well, I'll talk about it. This is the more current shit news. I'm not gonna go off on a lot of this because honestly, I just don't care anymore. It's fucking done. U.S. Apache helicopter shot down by Iran. Trump says crew rescued by sea drone. Yes, a Apache helicopter and crew were shot down by Iran, and thank God both of the people involved, both of the soldiers, are okay. Slim, I will fucking time you out. Don't bring that Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Apache helicopter that crashed into the sea on Monday was shot down by Iran while patrolling over the Strait of Hormuz. President Trump said on Tuesday, vowing to respond to his attack, which he did. From what I know, he began to bomb the ever-loving shit out of them once again. And as we see here, Israel and Iran comply with Trump's demands, halting the attack. This is a big fucking mess. And look, I've made my case for, and my points and beliefs and opinions and all that on Israel very clear. They need to fucking just get in line and stay in line. Absolutely. Benjamin Netanyahu is seemingly becoming a very fucking problem. I don't really know because I don't look into him all that much. I'm just looking into the whole situation of like, why are we there? What's going on in terms of us and any involvement? But we need to, I don't know, like I understand Trump wants to be the one to make the deal. I think that's kind of what ultimately is going on, because I think Trump is, he's not a warmonger. He's not a, you know, he's willing to use force, obviously, and take out people. We've seen it. But I think in this situation, Trump wants to be the one to have his legacy be of peace. And I think in a sort of, maybe a little bit of ego, I'm not going to deny that, maybe a bit of ego, I think he truly wants to be the one to have his legacy be peace in the Middle East, you know? Because he keeps trying to get a deal going. He keeps trying to get these countries of varying cultures to get along. I think that's ultimately what he wants. I think, you know, I don't think he's bought and paid for by Israel. I don't think he's, you know, some dementia-ridden warmonger. I think maybe some of his counsel aren't the best, but I think he truly wants his legacy to be the guy that got peace in the Middle East. But dude, just bomb the fuck out of the Iranian government, not the people, okay? It because this government is fucking just killing their own people still, and Israel needs to be fucking held accountable. Like, if you've seen what Trump said to Bibi Netanyahu, he was like, basically, you would be in fucking jail if it weren't for me. What the fuck are you doing? And that's absolutely what he has to do. America needs to be the fucking lead. We need to be the ones, you know, leading the sleigh on this. You know, we aren't the little dogs in line. They need to be the dogs in line. They need to get in line and work together. And they're fooling around in Lebanon. I understand that's where Hezbollah is. I understand they want to get rid of Hezbollah. And I understand that, you know, they have to deal with shit that we don't have to deal with because they are actually over there. But it also is bad optics, guys. So, I mean, I'm not saying I could figure out world peace over there. I certainly can't. But I think trying to get a deal with Iran is just, I think it's a fool's errand. You know, the White House and Iran regime both confirmed peace deal has been reached. Let the oil flow. The deal with the Islamic Republic, look, and this is the problem. As long as it's continued to be called the Islamic Republic, you're not going to get peace. Okay? Iran was forcibly made Islamic. They don't want Islam. The people don't want this fucking government. And I think they need to fucking rise up and do it themselves. We cannot do that. That's one of the big problems of that's one of the big problems we had with the Iraq war and all that shit. You know, beyond the fact that we really weren't there to do anything besides fuck around in the sand for 20 years. And give the country, we took the country from Al-Qaeda and then gave it back to Al-Qaeda, which was, you know, fucking mess. Hey, Alex, what's up? What up, dude? Yeah, we're just talking about right now. We're talking about the supposed deal that was reached with the Islamic Republic, 2 words combined can't make sense, of Iran is now complete. Congratulations to all. I hereby fully authorize the toll-free opening of the Strait of Hormuz and simultaneously herewith authorize the immediate removal of the United States naval blockade. Ships of the world, start your engines, let the oil flow. President Donald Trump. Look, and this was a Babylon Bee meme the other day. It's like Trump has successfully defeated, he broke a record by successfully defeating Iran 27 times in 1 year. I do really think that Trump wants his legacy. I think Trump wants the crown jewel of his legacy to be peace in the Middle East. I really, really do. But Iran, it's not gonna work. It's just not. I don't see. Maybe that could be me ultimately being a little pessimistic and black-pilled, and I'll own up to that. But I can't trust Iran. You know, it really does come down to that scene from SpongeBob, where it's like, I'll give them a week, I'll give them 11 minutes, and that does go for Israel as well, doing something stupid to make them, you know, be hated again. But we can basically count down the fucking minutes before Iran does something stupid. Or Israel, really. Following intensive talks, we are pleased to announce that the peace deal between the United States of America and the Islamic Republic of Iran has been reached. Both sides have declared the immediate and permanent termination of military operations on all fronts, including in Lebanon. Okay, so this time Lebanon was on the cards, which is a big problem with the last time they were supposedly a fucking deal, because Iran, you know, may have, you know, thought that Lebanon was in the works because they have proxies in Lebanon called Hezbollah, and Israel was bombing the ever-loving shit out of Lebanon, which, you know, made them look bad, but they were fucking in their right at the time to bomb them because they weren't fucking, that wasn't part of the deal. Of course, as I said, that was bad optics, that was bad timing, and if they wanted peace, they need to work with it. This time, Lebanon is on the table. But here's the thing. What is this going to do to them wanting a nuclear fucking weapon? So nice of them to pick Juneteenth. Oh, fuck. I care so little about that I didn't even know it was happening. Would like to thank the United States of America and Iran for their commitment to finding a diplomatic solution to the conflict. We would also like to extend our sincere appreciation to our brothers in this mediation effort, the great leadership of the state of Qatar. Ooh, Qatar, interesting. Isn't that Tucker Carlson's pank? For their support in reaching this agreement, I would also especially like to thank the visionary leadership of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and the Republic of Turkey, well, he even spelt it like that, for their immense contributions in this regard. So they did get other nations to get involved in this. But ultimately, like, what is going to stop the Iranian government from doing what they're doing? I mean, I don't think that's our problem necessarily. But when they are actively funding proxy terror organizations that are killing our citizens, what is going to stop them from wanting a nuclear weapon? Because they obviously, that's what they were doing. They weren't trying to get nuclear power. They were trying to get a nuclear bomb. And one of the original deals that stopped them from wanting the deal was the fact that they couldn't get the nuclear power was a sticking point to them. If they didn't want a bomb, why were they so digging in their heels to get this peace deal over nuclear? I don't see this working. You know, I really, really don't. Glad you finally reappeared after the fight was over, Keir. Yeah, fucking useless, feckless cuck. Netanyahu told Trump the IDF will not withdraw from Lebanon and that Israel does not consider itself bound by the Lebanon clause in the U.S.-Iran agreement. Anyway, see you guys back here the next time we drop bunker busters on Iran. Yeah, okay, so Netanyahu is, we have no obligation to Lebanon. And we know Iran's not going to fucking adhere to anything. I know there's not going to be a candy-coated solution to this. It's a millennia-old blood feud between two people that don't like each other. Never will. But, and no matter what Trump does, ultimately, he's going to piss off a whole bunch of people. Because if he bombs Iran to the ever-loving fucking pits of hell like he should, and by Iran, I mean the Iranian government, not the Iranian people, not their cities or schools, the fucking government shit. If he bombs them to the lowest pit of hell, he's going to be labeled some sort of Zionist, goy, pet for Israel. He's bombing them for Israel. This is a war for Israel. But if he ultimately keeps trying to get a peace deal and getting nothing, then he's, all talk and no show. Nothing is going to work unless he ultimately just doesn't fucking care and says, you know what? We're not doing a peace. Either we back out and let these fucking nations kill the fuck out of each other, or we bomb the fuck out of Iran and just get them out of the way. Because I don't see Iran holding up to any of this agreement, and I need a drink. DOJ shot down the woke hiring rules that have discriminated against white dudes for decades. Good. Hot off the press, the Justice Department issued an opinion today explaining that disparate impact liability under federal employment law is unconstitutional. This is an earthquake in federal civil rights laws. If right, this is the foundation to overturn the pernicious regime. So yeah, apparently discriminating against white people is in fact racist. Who fucking knew? Who fucking knew? European woman asks immigrant, quote, refugees the question they dread most, and they can't cut her off fast enough. Where is the video? Here, this is kind of low. She said, why is it only all men that's coming? No families. They're saying because it's difficult. And she asked him, if you were fleeing a war, wouldn't you bring your families with you?
Well, why would you flee war for your safety if your safety is in danger and your children?
Yeah, isn't that interesting? These refugees are fleeing a war. They're fleeing tyranny. They're fleeing potentially being executed. But they left their wives and their children behind. Isn't that just a bit interesting? Why? What good husband and father they are to run away from a war, to run away from civil unrest, to run away from tyranny, and leave their defenseless wives and children behind. Isn't that just a bit interesting? Oh, this is funny. Louisiana Sheriff gives Gator Deputy of the Year award for stopping DUI suspect with its teeth. I mean, this is just... Oh my god, this would be a good time for the 1845... What is it? 1845, the Florida Swamp Dragon. Because good boy, good gator, good Florida dragon, swamp dragon. Here's a story that is so Louisiana or Florida. I'll be surprised if we don't see the scene in the inevitable remake of The Water Boy or in Grand Theft Auto 6. A man suspected of driving while impaired was attacked by an alligator after attempting to flee police in Louisiana, local and state authorities say. This is why we need them on the border. This is why we have them guarding alligator Alcatraz. And this is also why many Japanese soldiers didn't get out of croc-infested waters. Yeah, many went in, only a few came out. Much like the story of the USS was it the USS Indianapolis? Yeah. No, that is not Bobby Boucher's dad. It's a 40-year-old DUI suspect, Victor Rivas. Oh my god. Let's see. After striking a concrete barrier near New Orleans and blowing out a tire, he allegedly jumped off an elevated highway straight into a swamp during a DUI stop. He showed the classic signs of impairment, slurred speech, glassy eyes, and the unshakable confidence that fleeing on foot into a Louisiana swamp was a good idea. Cops lost him temporarily, but later spotted him strolling down another highway. When law enforcement approached for a round 2, our hero made the same brilliant tactical decision. Back into the swamp I go. That's when Mother Nature introduced him to one of her local friends, an alligator, an animal so perfectly evolved it didn't need to change much over thousands of years, mostly just getting smaller. It emerged from the murky water, ready to nominate Rivas for the coveted Darwin Award. The gator latched on, thrashing around, turning Rivas' arm into a personal chew toy for a solid 30 seconds, and a 30 seconds that must have felt like 30 years to this poor, retarded man.
New video tonight shows a Louisiana man being attacked by an alligator while trying to escape from St. Charles Parish deputies. State police say 40-year-old Victor Rivas was driving recklessly on I-10 near the Bonneville exit yesterday when he crashed into a concrete barrier. They say they later found him driving the damaged car on Highway 61 in St. Charles Parish. And when deputies tried to take him in, Rivas allegedly ran into a swampy area, and that is when he was attacked. St. Charles Parish deputies released this body cam video you see on your screen right now. In the video, it shows him swimming in swampy waters and the gator going after him. Deputies say the gator injured both of the suspects' arms, and despite that attack, the pursuit didn't end there.
Even after the strike, Rivas continued to evade law enforcement and fled again.
So he just got attacked by a gator and still thought it was a good idea to run from the cops.
We had to wait for him to pop out the wood line to make that apprehension.
After deputies did arrest him, they took him to a hospital. He is facing several charges, including DWI and resisting an officer.
Well, congratulations, retard. You got the coveted Darwin Award, and I would like to personally salute our brothers in scaly arms defending our nation, one death roll at a time. And I'm going to, speaking of animal crime, let me just enlarge this a little bit. I'm going to try and not be super racist right now, even though I would like to see the Snicker donation. I actually don't even know if Alex has seen that one. And dude, it's funny. 200 chimpanzees are embroiled in a civil war. Yes, it's still going on, apparently. The world's largest known group of chimpanzees split into two factions that are now engaged in deadly combat. Don't make a racist comment. Don't make a racist comment. Don't make a racist comment. Oh my god. Chimp warfare apparently is a thing. Much like Civil War, the group fractured in two, then one faction began killing a former group's mates, and on the other side, researchers write, it's an exceedingly rare event. Scientists estimate that chimpanzees communities split on average every 500 years. And these things are so fucking vicious and so militarily tactical that the only way that a war ends is basically when all of the other chimps on one side are dead. That's it. That's it. And I'm just, don't be racist, don't be racist, don't be racist, don't be racist. The research relied on 3 decades of data stating, starting from 1995 in Somewhere National Park in Uganda, the Nodwe, home of the Ngogo chimpanzees, a community of about 200 individuals. Social relationships here clump around 2 primary groups named the Central and the Western clusters. For decades, they formed a single community in which the chimps share the territory, changed their typical clusters, affiliations, and sometimes mated across clusters until about over 10 years ago, says the study leader, Aaron Sandel, a primatologist. I didn't realize that was a thing at the University of Texas in Austin. On June 24 of that year, he was observing the chimps when a Western party approached the Central one. Typically, the two would mingle and then head off. It was nothing like he had observed before. Even his colleagues from the University of Michigan, behavioral ecologists who studied the chimps for 2 decades, didn't know what to make of the scuffle. Chimp fight. Chimp fight! It's a chimp race war. It's just, yeah. These things are so fucking brutal and vicious and strong that this ultimately is not going to stop until one side is completely decimated. But speaking of chimp warfare, a burning cross in Chicago Park shocks residents and has police searching for whodunit. I'm going to take a guess and say it was someone funded by the SPLC. So, there's that. A large burning cross, a historic figure, a symbol of hate and intimidation against Black Americans, not just them, was discovered in Chicago Park, where former President Barack Obama famously delivered his acceptance speech when he was elected the nation's first Black president. Well, I don't care. He's a terrible president. Tuesday afternoon's act sent shockwaves through the city, where more than 1 in 4 people are Black, and they wonder why there's so many problems. Some people drove or walked by, staring, and a video of the cross burning gained traction online. Let's see. Here we can see.
Whoa.
Fucking show it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if that dude said it because
in Chicago, I'm gonna take a shot and say this is another Jussie Smollett fucking situation. You know, this is MAGA country, as he was, being attacked by paid-for Black men in a predominantly Black city, predominantly Democrat city. Hate has no place in our city. Every Chicagoan deserves to feel safe, protected, and respected while going on their day. Really? Every Chicagoan deserves to feel safe? How about the multiple fucking people that get shot every fucking weekend? How about the amount of Black people that constantly have to feel fucking unsafe by their own fucking fellow Black people because of the fucking gang violence? Every Chicagoan deserves to feel safe. Then fucking do something about the gang and gun problems you have there. And by gun problems, I don't mean, too many. I mean too little. And in the wrong hands. But now all of a sudden you fucking give a shit about the safety of Chicago people. Fucked. Yeah, fucked. Johnson, who is Black, okay, said on an X post Wednesday, "We will continue working across the city government to uphold that standard and ensure Chicago remains a welcoming, inclusive, and safe place for all." So you're going to do nothing about the myriad of fucking murders that happen every fucking day, but and look, I'm not saying that I'd be particularly okay with this because I know what it means. It means Democrats, because the Democrats started the Klan. But you're not going to clean up the poo and the drugs and the crime. But this is what's getting all of your attention? 2 pieces of wood that are burning? Okay. Priorities, people. Priorities. Oh my god. Oh, wait, why is this? Oh, so this is kind of what's going to start actually the last one was, but this is really the start of the tagline for tonight's show, episode 24, as I got the actual name and number right this time. Color Blindsided, because the biggest story right now is the fact that convicted murderer Carmelo Anthony, when he was 17, decided to be a complete moron and stab a fellow student in the heart, killing him. Basically ruined his entire life, because now he will most likely spend, at minimum, almost 20 years in jail, at maximum, almost 40 years in jail, and quite frankly, I think that is way too fucking short for someone who really didn't have remorse in it, honestly. He only really started crying when he was faced with the consequences of said actions. But there's a lot of, as I said, a lot of didn't do nothings, a lot of we was kangs, a lot of snickers, you know, that are pissed off about this. And those are the retards. I'm going to make this very clear about this. I believe in the Chris Rock quote. He had a sketch about this. And he basically said that there are black people and there are Snickers. And black people hate Snickers. He says Snickers have got to go. And I fully agree. I don't consider the black community every black person. I consider black Americans, or Americans that are black, whatever you want to say it, however you want to say it, I consider those people the ones that get up, go to work, do their stuff. You know, they stick with their families. They actually aren't not fucking stuck in this victimhood, woe is me, slavery happened, blah, blah, blah mentality. They get up, they do their shit, they're not stupid, they read, they write, they all this shit, all of it. Those are blacks. The people that are upset and think that what happened in that trial is somehow some institutional racism, I'm sorry, but you go pick cotton candy, you filthy snicker. I don't care. There's a distinction between the two. But a man punches defenseless. Now, I use this site a lot because this is typically what gets posted in the newsrooms where I can gather news for the show. But it says, man punches defenseless white veteran. I mean, why is there so much emphasis on the fact that one is white and you don't say what the other one is? And because the rest of the headline is, in the head in the name of Carmelo Anthony. Ah, okay. So, I just found that interesting. Racial tensions from the Carmelo Anthony verdict spread far outside the Texas courtroom where it was delivered on Tuesday, including, unfortunately, here in the great state of Florida, where a white veteran was punched by a black TikTok content creator. Oh god, he's retarded on top of being a racial stupid puppet. And on to social media where the footage was posted. You posted it? It was posted? Like, how brazen do you have to be? The name of the individual responsible for the video is unclear, but it was posted under the pseudonym Comeback Kidbo. Oh, Lord. After Anthony was found guilty and sentenced to 35 years in prison, Anthony, now 19, killed Austin Metcalf at a high school track meeting in Frisco, Texas back in 2025. After Anthony entered Metcalf's tent and dared students to kick him. By the way, he was not supposed to be there. He had prior problems with having knives. Now, I'm all for the Second Amendment. I'm all for self-defense, you know? But it's that little bit of context. That says, this guy was not a squeaky clean kid who was defending himself. And even if Austin was being an asshole and, you know, whatever, the response isn't to stab someone because they said mean words. And I'm pretty sure the reason was because not only was Carmelo Anthony not supposed to be there on campus, he wasn't even supposed to be there on that side of the track meet. He was there pickpocketing, if I remember correctly. He was caught trying to steal things out of someone's backpack. However, because Metcalf was white and Anthony was black, this case has sparked tensions amongst retards that think race is important when it's not. Both outside the courthouse and on social media. Warning, the following post contains vulgar language and some might find it offensive. Not found. What the fuck? Is this... Where is it? Did I just scroll by it? Oh, shit. Black man in Florida filmed himself.
Hey, wasn't you on jury selection?
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Seriously.
So he punched him. He was like, "What, you on white jury selection? What the fuck? Not everyone on the jury was white, you fucking retard. What the fuck?"
No, he wasn't.
He was on jury selection.
He's a vet, dude. He's a vet. He's a vet. He ain't been on jury selection.
I ain't worried about that.
Fuck you.
You gonna die.
Quit, dude.
You on jury? When you on jury?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't.
You on jury selection?
He wasn't.
You was on jury selection?
What the f?
Oh, not for Anthony, not for Carmelo Anthony.
He wasn't on jury. Dude, that's not even the right state, you fucking idiot. How is someone in Florida going to be on jury selection for a case that's in fucking Texas? You fucking idiot. It's unclear where this attack occurred or whether police are investigating. However, his profile says that he's originally from Miami Beach and is currently located in Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, so if he is in Florida and that's where this took place, what the fuck does that have to do? What the fuck does someone in Jacksonville, Florida, who's a white guy, have to do with a fucking black murderer getting what he fucking deserved, less than he actually deserves, actually, in Texas? No! You fucking idiot! You fucking dumb... you know... There's no correlation here. Oh, Lord. Lord have mercy on these fucking idiots. He confirmed that the video has been removed, but continued to support Anthony on his social media accounts. Because, of course... Oh, look at him. He's crying. Oh... They removed the video. I wonder why. You fucking idiot. You posted assault. You should be fucking arrested with him. You want to hang out with Carmelo Anthony so much? How about you spend the fucking same jail cell with him? You fucking idiot. Because, and this was before the trial, but I brought this up anyway. Carmelo Anthony's case... his defense is in tatters. Provoked fight, was asked to leave 15 times. Wanted fight, says witness. Yep, so he wanted the fight. He had the knife. He shouldn't have had the knife. Shouldn't have been there. And I think I have this as well. Yeah, I think I have some stuff about the parents. So we'll kind of get into that. Accused murderer Carmelo Anthony was the aggressor in the fatal stabbing of high school track star Austin Metcalf, according to damning testimony of numerous witnesses in stinging rebuke of race hustlers who claimed the murder case was driven by racism. It turns out 4 of the 6 witnesses who testified against Anthony themselves were black. This guy's fucking awesome. Andre Williams. Dude, great. Because this is not Jim Crow and Carmelo has rights, he had a right to sit there. Why didn't Austin leave him alone when he instigated the whole thing? And Andre responded, you are really quiet on the fact that 4 of the 6 witnesses were black. Sitting under a tent of a high school you do not attend is not right. Telling someone to leave an area they have no place being is not instigating. Carmelo told him to touch him with intention. Let's see if we can get this. With the intention of stabbing him as a result of that minor contact. So, yeah, there's a bunch of witnesses that came forward that says, oh no, Carmelo Anthony was the problem. Oh, it's white supremacy. It's racism. 4 of them were black. Oh, they're just a bunch of Uncle Toms and they're a bunch of house Snickers. Because that's what it is. The most vile people. You will see the most vile, just disgusting words and acts to black people. Not from standard, Republican, white folk, but from the, quote, inclusive and loving Christian, I didn't even say Christian, inclusive and loving people on the left and fellow blacks. They're going to pass around Marshmallow Anthony like a cigarette. I don't know if that's a typo or if you actually meant to say marshmallow, but either way, that was fucking great. Yeah, they are. He is gonna be someone's prison bitch for 35 years. 35 is the maximum. I think he was, he's not offered parole for 17 years. So he's going to be there for almost 20 years as someone's prison bitch. And good. As a reminder, Anthony fatally stabbed Metcalf in a dispute at a Texas high school track meet in 2025. Both students were 17 at the time. During Anthony's murder trial Friday, witnesses testified that the defendant was asked 15 times to leave the tent of the opposing team, but repeatedly refused. The witness, a 17-year-old Frisco Memorial High School student, explained that he and at least 6 others were under the school's team tent when he saw Anthony in the area wearing the opposing Frisco Centennial High School gear. The Post reported several teammates, including Metcalf, asked Anthony, then 17, to leave around 15 times. Witness said Anthony reacted antagonistically, threatening and cursing Metcalf. "Touch me and find out," the defendant reportedly said. During a roughly 2-minute tiff, Metcalf, 17, said Anthony gave minor pushing, and Anthony stabbed Metcalf, witness testified per Post. So the whole thing, no typo. Okay, cool. Yeah, Marshmallow Anthony. That's fucking funny, dude. So the whole thing this whole defense fell apart because the defense was self-defense. Carmelo Anthony was acting in self-defense because he was attacked or provoked or whatever. He never took the stand to defend himself, from what I heard. He never got up and said anything, right? If I was in trouble for something that I considered to be an act of self-defense, but someone else considered an act of murder, I would probably want to be the first, if not second person to stand at the fucking under oath and say, hey, no, this is what happened. I was being attacked. It was clearly self-defense. I had a weapon that was not intended for anything other than if something went down, I felt threatened. I certainly was being provoked. I acted. He didn't do that. Like, that's and the defense gets so fucking worse. But breaking, Carmelo Anthony found guilty of murdering Austin Metcalf details. A Collin County jury has sentenced Carmelo Anthony to 35 years in prison for the murder of Austin Metcalf by Carmelo. Carmelo Anthony has been found guilty. Good justice was served.
And I am hearing that it is a guilty verdict.
This was
guilty of murder.
This honestly, it was so fucked up, and I tweeted this during the day it happened, because there was already a bunch of crowd fucking people lining up, and they was already getting some police and security around them because we all know what's gonna happen. And I basically just said, this isn't waiting for the verdict of whether or not a child or a teenager killed a fellow teenager. This verdict is whether or not we see riots in the streets of our fucking cities across the country. That's what this was. This was a verdict to whether or not we're gonna have to fucking clean up billions of dollars of burning wreckage in mostly black neighborhoods, by the way, the summer of love, while a fucking pandemic was going on, I might add. That's what this was. They grifted $1 million and went with a public defense. Oh, dude, that is a... Yep. And they bought themselves like a fucking $500,000 house and like a fucking couple tens of $1,000s car. This is just like with fucking George Floyd, because after he was killed, all of a sudden his family was like, oh my poor baby, he could be here today if he wasn't a fucking fentanyl huffing criminal. But no, he was such a good boy. Give us money so we can get out of the hood, get out of the ghetto, and move to an all-white neighborhood with a big fucking mansion. Ugh. Yeah. But man, I mean, you and I, we watch enough of the Geeks and Gamers. We know how grifting actually works. The verdict read by Texas District Court Judge John Rauch Jr. carries with it a sentence of 5 years to life in prison. Well, technically it was 5 years to 5 to 99, which is, might as well just say life. Anthony was 17 at the time, but Texas law allowed him to be charged as an adult. He is now 19 because the act was an adult act. Some in the courtroom reacted with cries, and Metcalf's twin brother, who made his first appearance in the courtroom, leaned forward. Anthony's mother wept. Roach had warned people in the courtroom to control their emotions when the verdict was read. Anthony's attorney kept an arm wrapped around him. And they want to attack the twin brother as well. They want him dead as well. I think this was proven fake. I think it was AI or something. But I did see like videos and pictures of people literally pissing on Austin's grave. I think that came out to be bullshit, but it was still made to shock value. If any of them were real, I don't know. But say his name, Carmelo, literally protesting at a courthouse for the murderer as if he's the victim of a racist attack.
Carmelo! Say his name! Carmelo! Say his name! Carmelo! What do we want? Justice! When do we want it? Now!
You got justice. A fucking murderer is going behind bars. And mind you, this is where I make the distinction. These aren't black Americans. Not a fucking one of these are good, honest black Americans. These are a bunch of know nothing, didn't do nothing. We was kangs, motherfucking. We should control everything. We were slavery and all that. Fucking snicker Americans. Fuck every one of them. You want justice? Well, you fucking got it. A piece of shit stabbed another person in the heart, and having his own brother basically hold him as he died. It will be some big guy named Bubba's bitch. That's what this will be. So fuck you. You got justice. Oh, this was actually supposed to be... No, we're not doing that right now. I'll probably... Jury reaches verdict in Carmelo Anthony's murder trial. Guilty of murder. Carmelo sobs in court. Is there any video of him? Okay, yeah. I wanted to get down to here. It is. Bunch of fucking protesters, and how many of them are paid, by the way? How many of them are being paid? God, it must be nice to be a paid protester. You know? It must be nice. It must be good to get those nice, quickly written out and cashed Soros checks. You know, I'm just sitting here with a YouTube channel that's under 200 subs, you know, just happy if I get a fucking donation here and there. But these motherfuckers get to sit out in the fucking nice, beautiful summer sun, hold the sign, scream some platitudes and some bullshit they read off Twitter or saw on CNN, and they get their fucking SPLC money. Whoopsie, fucking nice. Must be fucking nice. CBS gives murderer's parents airtime to lie about all-white jury and claim he didn't intend to kill anyone. I'm sorry, but these motherfuckers are the reason your kid will be going to jail because you failed as parents. And as much, now I don't know the situation, but as much as I want more black men to be in the home of their kids, you, sir, you still fucked up.
My son didn't intend to hurt anyone.
Then why did he go to where he wasn't supposed to be with a knife?
My son was defending himself.
No, he wasn't. He was instigating an event that he didn't need to be involved in.
It took less than 3 hours for a jury to reject 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony's claims of self-defense in the stabbing death of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Prosecutors argued Anthony intentionally killed Metcalf after being taunted and shoved by Metcalf and his teammates at a high school track meet.
Take us inside that courtroom. What stuck out to you?
What stuck out to me, number one, was the all-white jury. But I was trying to be, you know, like, all right, it's not that big of a deal. I mean, the truth is on our side.
The truth isn't on your side because he wasn't acting in self-defense. Also, there's this weird conception around a lot of people, I would say mostly of non-whites, but whites as well, where they tend to think that a jury of your peers needs to be a jury that looks like you. No, a jury of your peers are simply people that live in the community that you live in. So the fact that a jury is all white or whatever, who cares? And I get it. A lot of things nowadays are very charged, and you tend to, unfortunately, see things through a lens you wouldn't normally because you're a normal human being. But a jury of your peers is not necessarily a jury of your fucking skin tone. But let's find out the fact that my son was defending himself. All the evidence to the contrary. He rammed his blade 2 inches into Austin's chest. Whoa, that was a blade. Collin County District Attorney Office has confirmed that this is the photo shows the knife at a knife that is identical to this one. Was the one Carmelo Anthony used to murder Austin Metcalf. It's a 6-in-1 multi-tool. So yes, by one of the things that they were bitching about is like, it wasn't a knife, it was a multi-tool. Yeah, but no, this is a knife first, then everything else. The knife is the main point here. Point. And as far as the all-white jury, no, it wasn't. Media reports indicate Asian, Hispanic, and Middle Eastern individuals on the jury, including a woman in a hijab. Other reports indicate at least one of the Asian individuals was Indian, so South Asian. But think about what she's saying. Her worldview seems to be obsessed with skin color. She's implying that white people are automatically going to be racist simply because of their skin, and isn't assuming all people of a certain race think a certain way. What's the word? Oh yeah, a fucking racist. Okay, it fucking is. She's tactfully admitting that she expects jurors to protect their own based on race. And this is where I disagree with so many of these people. And I just ultimately do not, will not, and cannot ever care about this race-based bullshit. They can say, well, they hate you because you're white. I don't fucking care. They'll hate me for whatever. Most of the time, they'll hate me because I'm fucking Christian. Okay? I don't care. I'm not gonna return in kind. I'm just not. But unfortunately, and I saw a video of this on Twitter of some dumbass black woman who's asked if evidence was brought to you, which was in the case, shows that Carmelo Anthony was the aggressor, would that change? And she's like, no, because we got to protect our own. We got to protect our own because that's what they do. No, I don't protect my own when it comes to race. I protect my own when it comes to my family, when it comes to, my fellow Americans. I don't give a shit. Again, I don't like socialist white people from Europe in this country as much as I don't want fucking retarded Indian street vendors in this country. The only racist ones here are Carmelo Anthony's parents. Absolutely. Carmelo Anthony blames white attorney for his son's murder. Now, I don't really need to go into detail on this. I'm just simply going to bring up the fact that they, as Alex said, they grifted buku amounts of money from a GoFundMe that was set up for his defense. That's the reason why they had it. That's also the reason why GoFundMe stopped it. The reason they wanted to continue the GoFundMe well after the trial. It's like, no, you set it up for this. It's over. They GoFunded me so much money, but he got a public attorney. If you were so worried about the race of the attorney, why not just hire the one that looks like you with all the money you made or was donated? God, I would love to, fucking get that much money for one stream. Carmelo Anthony was just sentenced to 35 years for murder. See what his father has to say. Where is the actual video? Is this it?
Pretty breaking news to give you right now. The jury has sentenced Carmelo. He showed you those.
No. Jeff just unloaded on Carmelo. We were robbed. Don't look down of all these things. I said from day one, this was never about race. Please don't politicize it. But what did you choose to do? Both. It's about right and wrong. We're all human. We all bleed the same color. You are free to make choices all you want but you're not free from those consequences. You will face those consequences starting today. People think that grief is sadness, but it's not. It's rage. As he slams his hands on the table, pure, unfiltered rage, he shouts. You failed your parents, you failed yourself, and you failed society. You don't belong in this community, he says to Carmela. You're going to prison. You can't even look me in the eyes right now, but you can stab my fucking son in the heart. Oh boy, it's an angry parent. The jury wasn't even all white. No, it wasn't. They wanted another OJ. Oh, they always do. They assume we think that they do. Projecting. Yep. Yep. And speaking of Africa, let's just get through, because we only have a few minutes left. Oh yeah, here it is. Carmelo Anthony's family is now forcing him to file paperwork claiming his penalties. Destitute. He's penniless, destitute, and indignant. In an effort to obtain free appellate lawyer, despite moving into a $900,000 home and purchasing a $150,000 car, after raising oh my fucking you scumfucks grifted your own son, you terrible, horrible fucking people, you absolute scumbags. What the reaction to Austin Metcalf's murder tells us? Well, it tells us that most of these fucking idiots are still happy to grift off race, because it takes the fire off of their fucking failures in life. Fuck it. Dig Austin Metcalf up and oh my god. Keep in mind, if Carmelo had pled guilty early on, it would have cut the fundraiser short. His parents chose to send him to trial so they could keep raking in the cash. They don't love or care about him, awful people who inevitably raised an awful son. My only regret is that they can't be thrown in prison with him. Abso-fucking-lutely. These people clearly didn't raise an upstanding citizen of a son, black or not, because they then grifted their own son's murder case in an effort to buy a near $1 million mansion and a near $150,000 car. Holy fucking shit. I know inflation's a thing, but Jesus. It's yeah. Oh, this is interesting. Let's see if we can get to this. Podcaster says American blacks should mass exodus back to Africa over Carmelo Anthony verdict. You mean the entire continent that basically sold your ancestors over here in the first place? Okay. Let's see what this fucking retard has to say. Larry Reed calls for mass exodus of black Americans to Africa in response to the case. Let's just play this.
And I want you to begin to think about this America and the white people problem that we have.
Okay, let's just get this on X and speed this up, because I do not have the time.
To begin to think about this America and the white people problem that we have. I'm going to make a statement. We know that Martin Luther King, the beginning of his work was all about integration. We do know that later on that did change.
He was a fucking
integration
communist.
Has had great benefits. I think now, unless you must stay in America, unless you are supposed to be in the USA. Otherwise, if you're black, integration has had great benefits. I'm telling you, and I'm saying this as a collective, let's drain this place of its benefits and make our mass exodus.
Yes,
and go home and deal.
Let's drain the mass murder problem from America.
Has had great benefits, black people. For some of us. Let's drain this place of its benefits and make our mass exodus and go home and build. See, civil rights did not make white people that are infected with whiteness stop being racist. They still raised racist children that run this country to this day. The Civil Rights Act just made social discrimination federally illegal in key areas of American life, housing, voting, and such. It changed what was lawful, what was punishable, and what rights Black Americans could legally demand and defend. That's it. And now, those rights, at the federal level, there's an attempt to roll them back. Integration has had great benefits. Let's drain this place of its benefits and make our mass exodus and go home and build. This land ain't rich enough to hold who you are. You come from a land that flows with milk and honey. They pulled you out of.
Oh, we was kings. This country isn't rich enough for all us black folk. Let's go back to Africa and build. Okay, fine. Again, same with the fucking 55% of the Democrats. You want to fucking leave? You want to fucking go? Go. We don't care. And what benefits are you taking? Are you draining from us? Huh? What? The fucking murder rate? The crime? The fucking fraud? The welfare parasite spongism? And look, I'm not denying there were great civilizations in Africa. I'm not one of those people that says, well, everywhere in Africa was pointless. It's all mud huts, blah, blah. No, there were various degrees of civilizations in Africa, okay? You could say the same thing about every fucking continent on this planet, okay? And the reason why Europe was successful wasn't simply because of white people better. It was because of Christendom. That's what did it. So if you're gonna go to Africa, good fucking luck. But here's actually something from an African.
By far, actually. So you're African? Yeah. From the motherland, born in Africa.
This guy's from Africa.
Hold on. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all something real quick.
It's from Ethiopia.
People are not exclusively from America. They're from all over the world. All over the world. They're from Africa, Australia, Great Britain, not just from America. Oh, that's a death threat. That's a death threat, right? Get on video. That's a death threat. What'd he say? He said, I'm gonna do this to you. What does that mean? Huh? I'm from Africa. I'm blacker than all of you.
This is just more proof that fucking Africans fucking hate Black Americans. But that's all of the fucking snicker news we have for this week, and because that was just the biggest fucking story. Let's get into the palate cleansers, people. There we go.
Christians, of all the thousands of gods in the world, which one is the real God? The one you hate. I'm sorry, what? The one with actual power and influence in the world. The one whose word testifies against the world that it's evil. The one you simultaneously shake your fist at as you deny his existence. You know which God is the one true God. It's the one you desperately hate. Okay, so why would I hate God? Because you're evil. I have a question for Christians. Of all the thousands...
Wow. I got sent that by Llama, actually. This was, I think this is from last week, but I cut it, so I'm going to play it here. Maybe. Man, this is awesome! I love this fucking this channel, whatever you want to call it. Thousands of people attend the 5th annual pencil sharpening. I didn't even know this was a fucking thing. I think this was started by
when you sharpen
Timmy's.
it, you smell the graphite. When you erase, you can smell the rubber. It is a very tactile experience, we all know. But what the pencil can do when you sharpen it is so much more. It's a promise to do something.
A pencil sharpening. Oh my god. Anyone who's watched Fairly Odd Parents fucking is probably laughing their ass off because they know this is Timmy's dad. Oh my god. And okay. I don't know why. And of course this. Gotta have one of these guys.
Fish has a gun. This bad boy is an archerfish, and based on the description, you'd probably assume that Faye's fins here is found in the US, because, you know. But no, it may come as a shock to you, he's actually Australian. And now that you've got that piece of information, it should come as absolutely no fucking surprise to you when I tell you the reason it's packing heat is bugs.
Leave no Xeno standing.
See, these bad boys love eating insects. And specifically, they quite enjoy bugs found in the air or on land. And as the 9,000 IQ individuals among you may have figured out, that's a problem because it's a fucking fish.
Hello, how are you? I am under the water.
And last I checked, the motherfucker can't just swim through the air, which is why it's running a ranged build. But when I said gun, I meant less buying a deagle and more a super soaker. See, when an archerfish spots a happy meal hovering over the water, they will gently float their way up to just below the surface. They then lock onto their target, adjust for wind, and then suck in the water and spit it up to 3 fucking meters, nailing the target. And as it turns out, water gun is a super effective move.
Yeah, apparently water type is super effective against bug type.
The archerfish just swims over and grabs it like a fucking snack. The thing that cracks me up about this is that, yeah, they do it to put food on the table. They can also do it purely to fuck with people. Oh, this fish.
Oh my god. Oh my lord. But that is the end of the show. Why is this doing this? Why? Refresh. There we go. Okay, that's where Daryl, his stream boss health is. If anyone wants to do some last minute shin kicks to him, please do so. If you know, feel free. But yeah, that's the end of the show, guys. First of all, thanks Daryl for that fucking $50. That's fucking amazing, dude. I'm gonna put that towards new Jackbox, which hopefully you can join in one time. You know, more people should join. I fucking, that is a great time over on Fridays. But let's see, what do I have coming up this week? Tomorrow we'll be playing Among Us, because it is the Among Us 8th birthday. I believe it's 8th. Yeah, 8th birthday for Among Us. As I said, I've been trying some Red Dead Redemption 2. I have my first stream of it yesterday. I think I'm gonna try that on Tuesday. When? I don't fucking know. Probably sometime in the afternoon, I'll boot it up and just play for a whole bunch of fucking hours of just Red Dead Redemption. So stay tuned for that. And then, you know, videos somehow sporadically throughout the week. Maybe just one, I don't know. And then obviously Friday we have Jack Sabbath Jackbox game nights. Saturdays nothing because I'm over at Steve Dave's. And then Sunday, episode 25 next week is not only the first day of summer, but is also Father's Day. So please, say something nice to your fathers, for those who are still, able to, for various reasons, whatever. I'm not getting into that. But yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for joining in, stopping by, hitting like, sharing, donating. Remember guys, God bless, and may demons fear when you wake in the morning. Laters, and good night.